Hello? I can hear myself. I'm in my own headphones. He's not, though. Yeah, actually, he's not in mine either. I think you said that channel 1 wasn't working yesterday, and that's why we were in 2 and 3, or 2 and 4. It might be a channel 1 problem.
Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3. Check, check, check. Hello, hello, hello.
Me?
Hello,
Yeah, I
hello.
was about to say, I can hear him now. I can hear him, like, better.
I can't hear myself very much.
Um,
Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3.
is he plugged into 3?
Check, check, check.
How
Hello,
about now?
hello,
Is that
hello,
better?
hello, hello. Check, check, check. I can barely hear myself. Hello, hello. Check, check, check. Test, test, test.
Okay, wait, who's pitching?
Check, check, check.
We don't know who's pitching for the red team. They didn't
Hello, hello. That's better, Roy. That's better. Test, test. Yep. You ready? Can you give him the heads up? The thumbs up? Wave him, wave him.
Yeah, okay, cool. I think it,
Jamal, let us know we're on.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Red Murph Field, home of the University of Mary Hardin Baylor Crusaders. Today's FCA Victory Bowl game features the FCA Red All-Stars versus the FCA Blue All-Stars. I'm here once again with Ben Johnson. I'm Alex Crow. We're going to go ahead and go straight into the lineups. Had a little bit of technical difficulties, but we're all ready for action. Got a bunch of guys, much like the ladies yesterday, that are ready for action. We're going to have the blue team go ahead and take the field. I'll go right down their roster really quickly in just number order. So we've got number 4, Corey McNair out of Valley Mills. Number 5, Zane Spinn out of Holland. Number 6, Ethan Rasco from Lampasas. Number 8, Anders Sundquist from Kearns. Number 10, Tanner Carlisle. So now I guess quickly before they take the batter's box, I'll read you the lineup for the Red All-Stars. Of course, much like yesterday in the softball game, we're going to be batting everyone. Red All-Stars are going to be the shortstop Kyle Torres leading off, followed by Mason Brandenberger, then Jacob Kulagowski, Chan Reinert, Matthew Peefhouse, Brennan Mata, Blake Schroeder, Cody Stone, Christopher Lingo, Chance Haase, Colby Dyduk, and Dylan Martin, and then Lane Kemp will round out the lineup that's going to be facing Trevor Glauser, the pitcher out of Rogers, as he throws a high ball one to the shortstop, Kyle Torres. We'll have updates on the positions from the Red All-Stars. A bunch of the positions have more than one player in the lineup, just to help us out later in the game, as we're going to have a grounder over to the shortstop Spin, but he's not quite able to gun down the speedy Kyle Torres out of Troy. That was Zane Spin at shortstop. As quickly, I'll go around the infield just really fast. As I mentioned, on the mound this afternoon is going to be Trevor Glauser to start off, and he's going to be caught by Will McClellan. Around the infield, we've got Borland at first, McNair at second, Spin at shortstop, and Rasco at third. And the outfield from left to right are going to be Carlson, Sundquist, and Norris. So with that, Ben, I'm glad to have you here with me. I can now let you talk, as Glauser's going to miss just a little bit outside. Had to get through all that stuff pretty fast. We were running a little behind.
Absolutely, Alex. Great to see you again. And right off the bat, Torres put the ball in play and beat it out for an infield single. And welcome back to UMHB, folks. And we had a great day yesterday. 5-2 ball game, red team winning, and have baseball going today, softball and football tomorrow.
Now, facing the 2-0 count is Brandenburger. Now make it a 3-0 count as Glosser not able to locate the pitch right there.
I have not seen Glosser pitch yet, Alex, so I'm excited about getting to see him. Heard a lot about him, and it's a treat to be able to see him and all these guys for that matter.
So now this time Glosser looks like the fastball is going to rise up on a little bit. That's going to be a 4-pitch walk issued to Brandenburger. Brandenburger, it looks like, we're not sure if he's going to start at right field, but he's listed as a right fielder in the lineup, as are a couple of other players. Now coming into the dish is going to be Jacob Kuligowski. He's got 2 runners on now, and it's very speedy Torres at second base. Thinking a hit to the outfield is probably going to score him. Is Glosser going to miss high? Again, looks like he's just trying to shake off the rust here. Glosser, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's kind of his MO. He really likes the fastball, throws a hard slider as well as a changeup.
You got to think that the coaches for the Red are going to make him throw strikes, make him take. They probably have it. If they've got signals, they probably have take until he throws one. And then, as we saw yesterday, we might see some small ball to move the runners, get a run or two across. And if they can put pressure on the defense, then that might be something that could help them early on here.
Yeah, and that was a nice little backdoor slider thrown there by Glosser. Almost looked like that slider was starting to back up on him, but it found its way back into the strike zone. Little get-me-over slider there for the 2-1 count. Now he throws the fastball right by Kuligowski. That's a big hack right there. He's going to need to shorten up now as he's got 2 strikes in the count.
Hey, Alex, you know what? Jacob has graduation tonight at 6 o'clock at Waco ISD Stadium. He's here, though, because he wants to play ball, and I talked to him. That's going to be low. I talked to him when he came in this afternoon. He's going to try to leave here by 4 to get back and shower. We tried to question if he needed to shower or not, but he's going to shower and get the cap and gown on and graduate from China Spring tonight.
Wow, I mean, that's some pretty impressive dedication to the Victory Bowl, and it actually looks like, speaking of dedication, I'm not sure if he just wore that one or if that's ball 4, but either way, it's out of the strike zone, so he's going to be taking first base. And so now quickly, a bases loaded opportunity here with nobody out, and it's going to be Chan Reinert coming to the plate. Reinert out of Harker Heights. Looks like he's going to be playing some first base this afternoon. Looks like he'll be splitting time with Colby Dydick just based on the lineup we were given. Got an opportunity to really help his starting pitcher out to start this game. And, man, it looks like he was trying to put 4 on the board with that swing right there. Big hack for strike 1.
All of a sudden here, the Reds got all the bags full. So blue team's back as they should be, in on the corners.
And then another big cut right there for Reinert as we see another challenge pitch from Glosser. I mean, Glosser, I remember watching him pitch last year. I came home for spring break, did a couple of Rogers games because that's where I graduated from. And he's hitting the mid-80s pretty consistently with the fastball, and he's going to go 1, 2, 3 strikes, and that's going to be the first strikeout of the afternoon for Glosser as he throws 3 right by Reinert, and that's going to be out number 1.
Nice to see him rally there. He had, I guess, a walk and then a hit by pitch, and gave up that infield single, and there he comes back with a strikeout, and maybe he's going to get some mojo going now.
So now it's going to be coming to the plate. It's Matthew Peavehouse.
I think it's pronounced Peavy House.
Oh, Peavy House.
Yeah.
Well, he's going to take strike 1. Nice little slider. Again, looks like the slider location has been pretty nice for Glosser so far in the ballgame. He's really had the off-speed pitches working quite nicely so far. He's got now the 0-1 count, and this time he goes, that fastball runs high and inside. Wonder, he might be overthrowing that fastball. It keeps seeming to ride up high on him there. That happens sometimes, especially if you haven't been pitching and facing a whole lot of batters, as you know, none of these pitchers today will have. As this time finds the outside corner.
Nice pitch right there. Glosser sure is finding a groove here. Again, as we saw yesterday, these guys have not just stepped off the field of their high school teams. They've been out for a while, and there you go with the strikeout. So 2 walks and now 2 strikeouts. Yeah,
it looks like Glosser's starting to settle in just a little bit. Going to wipe some sweat off right there, see if he can work his way out of his jam. Coming to the plate now is Brennan Mata. Mata out of Gatesville. Looks like he'll be playing some left field, maybe some outfield this afternoon, as he's going to shoot one over there, and that is going to drop. 1 run is in, And we're going to have the base runner ignore the coach, and, man, that was not a great idea as Brandenburger going to get hosed at the plate. So credit Mata with an RBI single, but that is going to be all here from this first inning. Visiting red team going to put a run on the board, and we go into the bottom half of the first inning with the red team leading 1-0. We'll have to see who the red team is going to trot out to the pitcher's mound because there was no pitcher listed on the roster.
That
so we're gonna
outstanding throw by the right fielder there, Ethan Norris from Blooming Grove. Just a perfect one-hopper right to the catcher. Had him thrown out by easily, 10, 15 feet there.
Oh, I mean, it wasn't even a slide. He was well out. That was a great throw. I think that's why the coach was holding him up right there. Says, hold on, I've seen this guy play before. Said, okay, looks like we've got a lefty on the mound here. Looks like it might actually be Brandenburger. It's a guy from, I think, Clifton. I think there's a big C on the hat right there.
Yes, sir, that's him.
So, yeah, that's going to, I believe, should be Mason Brandenburger, the lefty out of Clifton, is going to go ahead. He's going to be throwing first.
Parents, families, friends, if you're watching, we'd love to hear from you. And as I did yesterday, if you're watching, I'll be glad to give out a number, and you can text us in, and I'll read off some shout-outs or hellos to any players that you want to send to. That number is 254-717-4290. And if you want to send a hello from where you're watching from, let us know where you're from, who you're pulling for, and we'll get through those. We probably had over 100 of those come in yesterday, and with a crowd of well over 700 that were watching at one point, and well more than that gathered in families and friends and groups. So great crowd yesterday, and hopefully we can duplicate that and then some today here.
Absolutely, because baseball, softball, too, just fantastic sports, and two sports that unfortunately had pretty much their entire season axed this year.
Yep.
And so it's great that these guys, all seniors, are going to get one last crack taking the field as a high schooler here in the FCA Victory Bowl. While Brandenburger warms up, go ahead and give a couple of special shout-outs. Of course, this game couldn't have been possible without Hugh Shine, our District 55 state representative, who communicated to Governor Abbott all week and helped us to allow us, of course, have this be a game and not just a practice. Of course, he also shows our holds our FCA values in a while. Rogers and/or Academy usually match up with Clifton, and man, that's strike three, but it's going to get past the catcher right there. Proctor's running over to first base. It's going to be a bang-bang play, and he is going to advance on the drop third strike. Don't see that very often, but unfortunately, originally the red team had two catchers on the team, but neither one of them were able to be with us today. I believe there were some potential COVID-19 concerns with both of them and their family, so they were unable. So we've got, I believe, an outfielder in Schroeder behind the plate, and that time looks like it might have just gotten crossed up by the fastball. We've got a grounder now over to first base. Brandenburger has to go over to first base and cover. He can't handle it, so runners are now going to advance to second and third. Or I say second. It looks like Spin is going to be thrown. No, he's going to be safe as that ball is sitting there right on the ground. And so back-to-back, technically it'd be back-to-back errors, although I think that Spin got to first on his own. I think he was beating that out.
I think he was going to make it too. Might have been a better choice to hold on to that ball there at first. He was trying to make a play and get an out for his team, and just kind of a wild throw to first to get the Spin to second. Spin almost was thrown out there at second.
Yeah, I mean, if they handle the ball right there, I think he was out. But now up at the plate is going to be Ethan Norris. Norris was able to end the last inning by gunning down Mason Brandenburger. So Brandenburger might be trying to extract a little revenge on the lefty.
Yeah.
We see that one bounce in the dirt, but a nice stop by the makeshift catcher, Schroeder.
You made a good point. Something we watched today here, us and then those of you who are watching, is Brett is down some catchers, and so we'll see. It's hard enough to catch if you haven't done it very much, let alone catch a left-hander with the natural tail and movement going on there. And so that's going to be something to watch here throughout the day.
Now 2-1, and now it's going to be 2-2 as that one's fouled right back to us. And much like yesterday, I'm ducking out of the way despite being behind a net and a nice glass window here in the air conditioning. Go ahead and quickly just go over our lineup now for the Red All-Stars. So you've already seen David Proctor, Zane Spin, and now Ethan Norris at the plate. On deck is going to be Ethan Roscoe batting fourth. Batting fifth will be the pitcher Trevor Glauser, followed by Cole Borland as we see another nice breaking ball there from Brandenburger. Got registers his second strikeout of the inning on that breaking ball.
2 strikeouts and only one of them for an out.
Yes, unfortunately for Brandenburger, that first one had a little bit too much spin on it. Kind of fooled the catcher. And then following Borland, it looks like it's going to be Anders Sundquist, then Martin Ibarra, followed by Will McClellan, Corey McNair, and then rounding out the lineup as that pitch is going to miss outside here to Ethan Rasco. And the last 3 in the lineup are going to be Roy Carlson, Matt Rosas, and Tanner Carlisle to round out the Blue All-Star lineup here. So Brandenburger now, he's going to miss high with the breaking pitch.
Brandenburger's got some really nice action on his ball. The fastball's tailing really well. You saw that pitch before. The catcher, again, trying to track it. He's probably not used to catching that. And then that was just a little bit of a curve that just kind of spun out of his hands and didn't get over the top of it like he'd like to. And so he's got a lot of movement.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen that curve on the 2 strikeouts as he throws the fastball right by him. Again, that tailing fastball kind of shooting out away from the batter, Rasco. And you've seen the curveball on the 2 strikeouts. Got some nice break on that as well. So now 2 balls and 1 strike. We'll see what Brandenburger elects to do as he throws another fastball. That one's high, and man, Rasco not happy that he missed that one. I think he wants that one back. So Rasco out of Lampasas. He'll be attending Texas A&M in the fall. And now we're going to see, again, that tailing fastball almost found its way back over the plate.
Yep. He was trying to throw it up in the zone right there and just missed his spot a little bit. We'll see here 3-2 now what he's going to do.
3 balls, 2 strikes. We're going to see that one, and that's going to be bounced in the dirt. That loads the bases. So now after the red team had an opportunity with the bases loaded in the first inning, in the Blues' opportunity in the first inning, they're also going to see a bases loaded. This time they're going to be seeing it with 1 out. It's going to be Trevor Glodger. Glodger's got a great opportunity to help himself out here as he's going to be just behind that fastball. He's going to foul that one back towards the right side. Glodger does have home run power. Looks like the wind's blowing a little bit more right to left than blowing out or blowing in per se, but we'll have to see what Glodger's able to do here. As we see this time he's fooled by the breaking pitch as that one just kept going in on him, tied him up. So no balls and 2 strikes quickly on Glodger. He's going to step out, collect himself really quickly. Looks like on deck is going to be Cole Borland, the first baseman. No balls, 2 strikes, and a nice take right there. As that one almost had some cutter action there. It almost looked like it was, instead of tailing off like a lot of his pitches have, that one kind of almost tried to jump back into the strike zone.
Tough pitch to lay off with 2 strikes, but he let it go, and the umpire didn't ring him up. So good on him.
And now with that last pitch, Trevor's worked his way back into the count. Trevor's going to be playing baseball at Temple College next year. And this time we're going to see a check swing. Oh, and they are going to say he goes around. And so the 3rd strikeout of the inning, but we're not finished yet. As the first strikeout of David Proctor ended up getting by the catcher Schroeder.
Here we go. Brandenburger's in the same spot as Glodger was. Bases loaded, 2 outs. And he could conceivably get out of this inning with 4 strikeouts and no runs given up, though we'll see what happens.
So now we're going to see that one gets thrown right by Borland. Takes a big cut at that one, not able to come up with anything. He played for Texas Win this past year, and I guess in high school. I believe that's a home school.
It is. It's in Waco, and, I know this young man a lot, know his family really well. Great family, great kid. Their family has been a host family home for the Victory Bowl for a number of years. And look at that.
Almost took one in the head right there. Was able to just barely duck out of the way. Man, it's almost like he barely even flinched at that ball right on his bill. It gets by Schroeder, but he gets a very favorable bounce back, and it looks like Proctor
saved a run.
Proctor, I think, was expecting him not to let that ball get by him a second time there.
Nice job by Cole there to foul it off, staying alive.
Yeah, because, again, that was another good breaking pitch there by Brandenburger.
Advantage Brandenburger here, lefty on lefty. He's got the curve. He's got the tailing fastball. He can do a lot of things here in this situation.
Brandenburger now is going to hit the outside corner in a 4-strikeout inning for Mason Brandenburger from Clifton. Man, that was just some nasty stuff right there. What a performance to get his way out of that jam. And so at the end of one, our score is still red team 1, blue team 0 after the blue team strands the bases loaded.
Got some shout-outs to read here, Alex, pouring in. Good luck to Will McClellan of Bosqueville. Love you and very proud of you, says Coach Anderson. Coach, thanks for tuning in. Go Matt, Roses, number 12, blue team. Nana loves you, and we are super proud watching from work in Hillsboro. All right, we want to make sure the work knows that. Brendan Mata's family rooting for the red team from the parking lot. I saw them earlier as Brendan was checking in. And watching from Hubbard, Texas, go Chance Hasse. He graduates tonight at 8. There's another graduate that's going to make it back up to Hubbard in time, I'm sure. And his mama couldn't be more proud. Let's see here. Shout out to Matthew Peavyhouse from the Lady Panthers softball team. We are proud of you, Matthew. Thanks to softball for tuning in up there, you ladies. Let's see, again, another graduation tonight in Abbott. Shout out to Matthew Peavyhouse from his family tonight at 7:30. That's the third gentleman who's going to graduate tonight. And they're thanking us for doing this game today. A lot of hours spent by Seth Chambliss, our Heart of Texas Southwest director, and some folks you read off, Alex, earlier to help make this happen. Lighthouse Media, who's just working a ton here to pull this off. The streaming yesterday and today. Tomorrow the volleyball, tomorrow night the football, and lots of folks involved in making this happen.
So now it looks like they're going to stick with Glazer on the mound here as he's going to throw one, and that's going to be fouled straight back by Blake Schroeder. It's going to be Schroeder, Stone, and Lingo to lead off. I'm just looking. Looks like we've got a substitution in at third base, and that's going to be David Proctor that is taken over there. I think we might also have one. No, that's still Spin out there at shortstop. Now, quickly strike 2 is thrown. 2 good pitches back-to-back by Glazer. Looks like after he had those 2 walks, he's really found himself a little groove here.
Yeah, he looked like he went fastball, curveball. So, he again, 0-2. He can do a lot of things.
He goes with that same backdoor, tries to back that one back into the strike zone, but it's going to just barely miss out, inside, excuse me.
Tough spot for Schroeder to be in.
Looks like that one's going to go by. So 1 ball and 2 strikes here. Looks like McClellan is still catching. Imagine the blue team's going to be rotating catchers throughout this game as they have 3 compared to the 0 for the red team.
Yeah, it's a warm.
The Southwest in Hobbs, New Mexico next year. It's an NAIA. He'll be playing baseball there. He'll be continuing his career. Got the 2-1 count right now. Glazer now throws another breaking pitch. That one's just going to miss inside. It's a pretty defined inside corner. Glazer's been trying to expand it ever so slightly with these breaking pitches, but umpire so far has held fast. It's now 3-1. Make it a walk right there. So that is going to put Stone on the bases. So now got no balls and no strikes to the newest batter. That's going to be Christopher Lingo. So, with 1 out, he's got a man on, and that pitch looks like it's going to miss again. So, Glazer trying to get back to the strike zone. 1 ball and no strikes. Lingo, I believe he'll be continuing his playing career as well after high school. He's going to take a big cut right there. It's going to be tipped right into the glove of McClellan. Lingo should be going to Texas A&M University Kingsville next year to continue playing ball. Lingo out of Copper's Cove. Still has his man Stone on first base. This time, nice scoop on the breaking ball in the dirt there by McClellan.
Kept the double play in order with that stop. Outstanding play. Catchers are an important part. Now here, if Glazer can get a ground ball, it gives his chance in infield to roll 2 up and get off the field.
Glazer now going to come set once again, and he gets the ground ball. Oh, but it gets by Borland. That time he was holding the runner there, so he wasn't in his normal position. And, man, what a throw from Norris. Got a cannon out there in right field. Runner ends up getting there because Stone had a great jump off of first base, but, man, that guy has a cannon. You saw it in the first inning when he threw that guy out at home. There's a lot of life in that arm. I'd like to see him take the mound later in this game. I bet he's throwing I bet he's got some heat on it.
That that was a lot closer at third than we thought it might be, and he made a play out of that potentially. Here, let's see here, 1st and 3rd. A lot of pressure on the defense right here to execute something if they take off and try to steal.
Looks like runner's going to hold right there, and that's going to be ball 1 thrown to Chance Hossey. So Hossey's standing in again, has a chance to put another run on the board. And it looks like McClellan just going to eat that one.
Usually in that situation, you have about 3 or 4 options you can do as a defense. And, of course, as a coach, you practice that a lot. What are you going to do? You're going to go ahead and try to throw them out? Are you going to fake and throw to third? Are you going to let them go? You're going to have a shortstop or second baseman cutting across. There's lots of things. And, of course, that takes hours of practice that these guys have not had together.
Yeah, and you saw right there the spin moved to cut that off in case they did throw it, because I don't think that necessarily was called, but I think that he was just not going to try and let that guy score. But now it's 2 balls, 1 strike on Hossey. Hossey, as mentioned, out of Hubbard. He's graduating tonight. He's got a little bit more time than some other people. I believe he's graduating at 7:30 or 8.
Yeah.
Not like our friends over at China Spring. Then Jacob Kuligowski, who's really going to have to hot-foot it back up there.
I'd like to see him have his cap and gown on underneath his uniform. That would even be in little China Spring blue. There's a strikeout.
And McClellan quick on the tag right there as that pitch was in the dirt. So that's going to retire Hossey. Coming up to the plate now is Colby Dyduk. Dyduk going to be coming from the left side here. Wearing the number 9. We'll see. He's got 2 outs now, but he's got 2 runners in scoring position. Got to think that if he hits it into the outfield and not to right field, they may have a chance to score 2 here. I'm not sure if I'd be testing Norris again, however. And, man, that is a high and deep drive out to left field. That's going to be way foul. That had some home run distance on it, though. And that's what happens when you've got a hard thrower like Glosser and a guy with clearly some pop in the bat with Dyduk.
I promise you, Norris is hoping it comes to him in right field because he feels good.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
already thrown one out. He almost got another one by surprise, and he is ready. If it gets to Norris and right, I hope we see a play at the plate.
Dyduk out of Granville. He's going to UTSA next year, where he'll be. No balls and 1 strike now. Grandview just a very successful, in both boys and girls sports all around, not just the baseball and softball. They've got, a team that competes at the state football level pretty much. I mean, it feels like every year.
That's right.
They've got a pretty solid basketball team as well, usually with boys and girls. And, of course, these great baseball and softball teams. We've seen some players from yesterday and today. And representing them today, of course, is the man at the plate, Dyduk.
That was a nice stop by the catcher there. And oh, here we go.
And that's going to be high and deep.
Though.
And that is going to be a 1-hopper off the wall. 1 run is in. 2 runs now are in, and he is going to be going to third. No, he's going to run back to second base. Looks like he was running that one like he didn't have a coach right there, but then when he looked at his coach, he realized that, hold on, we might not want to be testing this red defense here, but credit 2-run double there for Colby Dyduk, and we saw that power on that first foul ball, and we saw it once again as he lofted that one over the head of Norris.
That was a nice, solid double there, right? Turned on the ball. Squared it up, line drive, 1 hop the fence, and kind of a little bit into the wind. We have a wind that's blowing out to left, but nothing was going to hold that ball down.
So now it looks like we've got another lefty at the plate who's going to take low and inside. That's Dylan Martin. Martin out of Avalon. Looks like he'll be playing some left field today. Got the 1 ball, no strike count. He's got, of course, Dyduk standing on second base. Red has extended their lead now 3-0.
Oh, we got to hear a pass ball.
Yeah, that time they ran that fastball in on the batter Martin, and McClellan just wasn't able to get his glove all the way over there. Blocked a little bit by the batter.
Again, these guys, this battery has not worked together, and just getting used to the movement of that. I couldn't tell he was set up. He may have been set up outside, and the pitch came inside.
So now Glosser, this time goes to the breaking ball, is able to sweep it in and find the strike zone. And so now 2 balls and 1 strike is the count. We've got Martin now has a man on third, and now we're going to see a little backdoor breaking ball once again by Glosser. That's kind of his get-me-over pitch, as he's now going to have the count at 2-2.
Here we go. We got 2-2, 2 out. 2 runs in so far. Deuces are wild on the board.
We're going to see that time they ran that fastball in on Martin again. This time he swings, fouls it off, just barely.
Number 22's on the mound.
Yeah, that is very interesting. We've got all the 2s out. We've got 2 runs in this inning.
Yep.
We'll see what Glosser's able to do here. Got the 2-2. Comes set and is going to fire. This time goes again.
Nice
3 strikes in that plate appearance to Martin. All 3 of them, the old backdoor breaking ball. He took all 3 of them, and he's going to go down looking, but not before the red team, or excuse me, the red team strikes again. 2 more runs, really given to them by, of course, that big double from Colby Dyduk out of Grandview. Man, just put a charge into that one, and now it looks like we may have a new pitcher. Actually, I know we have a new pitcher because we've got a right-handed guy up there for the Red squad, so we'll have to see who that is quickly. Let's see.
That's Lingo from Cove.
Sure is. It would probably help if I was looking at the right team, so I'd know that. I was out here looking at the Blue All-Stars, and that's why I couldn't find him. But nonetheless, Christopher Lingo going to be taking the mound here. We'll have to see. Looks like Schroeder's going to be sticking behind the plate. We had some talk that potentially, especially since it's pretty hot out here, a little humid, we might have a blue catcher switch over and catch for the red team.
That's right.
I know that we've had at least some volunteers that would be able to do that.
That's a possibility. Yeah. Let me read some more shout-outs here. This is a shout-out to a coach. This is Coach Simpson's from Mahia. His wife texted in and wanted to say hello to her husband from her and her daughter Ava for the blue team, and let him know that we love him very much and are proud of his dedication to the game of baseball. Go Mahia Blackcats. And Alex, I got my daughter Ava with me sitting behind him here today.
Sure do.
Being my spotter and helper, and every once in a while getting a back rub. How about let's go blue number 24, Will McClellan from Bosqueville. Watching you on the live link from the Cowans. We've got watching in Hillsboro, Texas, cheering loud and proud for Matthew Rojas, future Red Raider. And let's see here. Shout out to Kyle Torres, Nana, and Cookie watching from Temple. We are so proud of you, Kyle Torres, Nana, and Papa Mike. Looks like Coach
Lingo out of Cove. Lingo, he's going to start out with the strike. Not sure if that's exactly where the catcher was calling that pitch, but it finds the strike zone regardless. And man, I like a nice pitcher that goes fast, and that is Lingo. Lingo, before I'd even looked up from my scorecard after marking the strike, he's already back in it. 1 ball and 1 strike.
I like how old Sundquist has his socks here, nice and high, and that's how I wore them when I played, so I'm partial to that. But let's see what the Kearns Bobcat here can do.
Now looks like he's going to take low and away, so 2 balls and 1 strike now. But yeah, I mean, man, Lingo's just a broadcaster's dream right here. He's just going to, I'm not even sure if the catcher is calling pitches. I think he's just letting them throw. Although Schroeder taking a little bit of a beating, as a couple of pitches, both in last inning and this inning, have hit the dirt. He's kind of had to take right there. And a guy who, again, not normally a catcher. I believe they said he was normally an outfielder.
That's right.
Ball 4 is now taken by Sundquist, and he's now standing on first base. And coming to the plate is going to be now Martin Ibarra.
This is another Lampasas Badger right here. Now we got 2 on this on the blue team today.
Yeah, both he and Ethan Rasco hailing from Lampasas. And now we're going to have a wild pitch. And, man, that was one heck of a bounce back right there. Bounced all the way back to the pitcher's mound. Nonetheless, taking second on the wild pitch is going to be Sundquist.
That might come into play a couple times. It already has come into play once in the first inning, saving a run. And we may see that happen again if the players are paying attention and taking note.
And that time we're going to have another wild pitch as that one again skips in to Schroeder. Need to give my man some help back there. Throw him some pitches that he's not having to just throw himself out in front of. And on as that one skittered away from Schroeder, that time he kind of lost it because he ran into the umpire there. And so once again, moving up is going to be Kearns Bobcat Sundquist. 2 balls, no strikes quickly now. Barr has an opportunity.
Nice pitch.
That was a nice pitch. After two back-to-back in the dirt, finds the strike zone, really paints the corner nicely with that one.
He came back with some off speed there, and sometimes as a pitcher, you got to go with what you can throw strikes with. He was having trouble locating his fastball low with it. He came with a curveball or an off-speed pitch and was able to throw a strike. Just missed that one. Here's 3-1.
So the 3-1 pitch is going to be grounded over to the right side, and that is going to be a base hit. Ibarra drives in the first run of the ball game for the blue squad. Give him an RBI single. That puts the blue team on the board. They now trail 3-1. So that puts the blue team on the board after the red team put 2 on the board earlier here in this second inning. And quickly to the plate now is Will McClellan, the catcher for the blue team. We see a nice stop that time by Schroeder as he keeps that one in front of him. Ball 1, however. McClellan now out of Bosqueville. He's going to take ball 2, and now we're going to see a quick throw over there, just keeping Ibarra honest. Ibarra was taking the secondary lead right there, so Schroeder decided to go ahead and test out the arm a little bit, just in case he needs to throw anybody out at second.
Nice stop by the first baseman to hold that Ibarra at first.
Now we're going to see a 3-0 count here facing McClellan. McClellan hadn't had to take the bat off his shoulders just yet. Sitting on deck is going to be Corey McNair.
Let's see if Coach gives a green light here to swing. He does.
It's going to be hit high in the air, chasing over it, and not able to get it is Brandenburger. But Brandenburger, he's got to play at second, and he will get Martin Ibarra. So that's just a little tough play right there. Ibarra didn't want to get too far off because that's just a short flip if he wants to try and turn the double play at first. But, man, Brandenburger, who pitched last inning, recorded 4 strikeouts, was able to throw him out. So credit McClellan. We're going to call that a fielder's choice right there, unfortunately.
Tough look for McClellan. Just, right time. Would have been a line drive in the scorebook, but, props to Brandenburger for hustling after that thing, picking it up, making a strong throw to second base to get the out.
So now another pitch in the dirt. That one's going to get by Schroeder as well. So another wild pitch, and that allows McClellan to get over to first base. So if another ball's hit very high in the air, you'd imagine fielder's choice is probably out of the question. Now we're going to see strike 1 thrown as he's able to come back is Christopher Lingo. Now going to come set. Comes a little bit of a crossbody set. We're going to see a grounder over there to third base.
Going to have to hustle.
Third baseman goes, and he's going to skip that one in. It gets by the first baseman. Runner is coming home, and they are going to score. So that is McClellan who's able to score. Give the E5 right there for McNair reaching the bag, and he's also going to take second on that error.
Mm-hmm.
So not technically an RBI, but nonetheless another run is driven in by the blue team. They've now cut the deficit to only 1 point, still only 1 out. And coming to the plate now should be
this is
Roy Carlson.
Yep.
And
Right
that one,
middle.
man, right up the box. As that actually looks like it takes a bad hit off the lip of the grass. But, man, coming around the bases to score was McNair. I'm not sure they could have thrown him out anyway because he can really scoot on the base pads right there. So he's going to score. Credit Carlson with the RBI single.
Carlson did not mess around there. He stepped in the box, saw a good pitch, hit it right back up where it came from.
That's just about all you can do as a batter, especially facing a bunch of guys that you probably haven't faced too often. So now we're going to have another wild pitch. Lingo's been throwing, looks like he's throwing pretty hard, but he's been throwing a little bit wild.
Yep.
So now Carlson, of course, moves up to second on the wild pitch. Matt Rosas at the plate now.
A Meridian Yellow Jacket.
And we heard from the shout-out he'll be attending Texas Tech next year.
That's right.
So now takes the breaking pitch for strike 1. See what he's able to do. Got the nice neon green bat, and he's going to shoot one over there at the first baseman. Nice stop, however. That's big number 20 for the Red squad. That's Chan Reinert. Had to make sure they hadn't made any substitutions over there before I called him out. He started the game at first base and is still there. Ground out basically, essentially works as a sacrifice bunt there. It's still 3 unassisted. And now, the number 13 hitter, Carlisle is at the plate. Carlisle going to lay off that one. After Carlisle will roll back up to the top with David Proctor.
Blue team's got 3 runs here on 2 hits, and they're looking to get 1 more to get that lead.
So now, it's going to be off the plate, so 1 ball and 1 strike. Pitch now by Lingo is coming back, and this one, another breaking pitch. Gets a little bit away from Schroeder, but he's able to go and track it down before Carlson can make any moves there on third base. Now we've got 2 balls, 1 strike. We'll see what Carlisle's able to do. Carlisle going to take ball 3.
Just outside. It was not far. He was set up more middle in, the catcher, and it was just off the edge of the plate on the outside.
So now Carlisle with the 3-1 count. He's going to take
pitch.
a very nice breaking ball right there. That puts the count full at 3-2.
If I'm the catcher, I'm putting that same number down right here. He can locate that pitch. It's 3-2. You throw your best thing you got right here.
And that is what we see, but Carlisle able to foul that one off. He's going to bat a little bit. Carlisle going to be continuing his baseball career after high school as well. Going to be attending Cisco College. He'll be playing baseball there. Comes out of Rice High School. He's got the 3-2 count now. 2 outs. Got a runner sitting on third. And now we're going to see, again, foul ball.
Same pitch, and Carlisle spoiled it. And it wouldn't surprise me if we see it here for the 4th time in a row. And Carlisle may have got it measured out. We'll see.
One thing that Carlisle might be doing is, if he's not really comfortable hitting the breaking pitch, but he can foul it off like him, he's probably just going to say, you know what, just throw me a fastball. If you throw me a fastball, you know, and there it is, and it's going to get by Schroeder.
Yep.
Runner coming home, and they are going to score. That's Carlson. So Carlson is going to come around to score, and that is the 4th run of the inning, and that gives the blue team a lead. Already much more offense that we've seen so far than we saw in the softball game yesterday. 7 runs were scored in total yesterday in the softball game. We've already got 7, and it's the 2nd inning here.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're going to see, little check swing there by Proctor. Going to be scooped up by Lingo, and he's going to get out of the inning, but not before 4 runs are plated by the blue squad. I believe we're going to go ahead and take a fast break. Should be having the fastball. He was early on that one, so it fouls that one back. Got under it a little bit. So 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Reinert. First baseman for the red team. Norris now. He's going to go ahead and come with the high set, and he throws the fastball. And Reinert's got that fastball. He's getting it timed up. He's seen a couple of them. He's fouled both of them off that he swung at. He's going to battle out in the count here. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Almost 2 strikes, and we're going to see a breaking pitch, and this one's fouled off again to that right side, doing a nice job of battling.
He is.
Reinert, of course, from Harker Heights.
Norris is hoping for a ground ball, the shorter second right here. Actually, I take that back. I thought we had somebody at first. And infield's back. It looks like they're trying to get an out and not trying to cut this run off.
So now we're going to see the breaking pitch again, and this time looks like Reinert going to be out in front of it, so he's going to strike out. First strikeout of the afternoon for Norris. And now coming to the plate with 2 outs and a man still on third is going to be Matthew Peavyhouse. He struck out in his first plate appearance. Started the ball game at third base for Red Squad. We're going to see that time the breaking pitch started high and stayed high for Norris. Norris out of Blooming Grove. Facing off of Peavyhouse out of Abbott. We're going to see this time the breaking pitch is able to find the strike zone.
Nice job.
So 1 ball and 1 strike now. Norris had to work a little bit in this inning as the red team has retaken the lead off of a 2-run triple. Whoa, that time high and inside. That's one I'd definitely not be trying to wear if I were Peavyhouse there. That had some heat on it.
Here comes the breaking ball in the outside corner now. If he can locate, he pushed it back a little bit. He threw a breaking ball, now a fastball. Nope, he threw a high fastball there.
Yeah, again, just a little bit, much like we saw potentially with Glauser in the first inning especially, where he just might be overthrowing that fastball a little bit, and it's just sailing up on him. See what he's able to do here. 3 balls and 1 strike count. And we're going to see a grounder over, and oh, it just gets by the first baseman, Glauser, just a little bit out of the range right there. Perfectly put it in that hole in between first and second base, and so credit Peavy House with an RBI single.
There's a graduate tonight getting an RBI. How about that? That'll make graduation feel even better tonight.
Give him something to talk about with his friends. They round out their high school careers at the graduation. So now it looks like it's going to be Brennan Mata at the plate. He had the RBI single in the first inning. He's going to take a looping breaking ball right there for a strike. Mata, of course, singled 2 Nors in right field. 1 run came in, but the second one was gunned down. And now he was way out in front of that, way out in front of that breaking pitch right there. Looks like he might have been expecting the hard fastball. So quickly 0-2 now on Mata. Left fielder for the red team. We see a breaking pitch, and that one's hit just right on the hands, but it looks like he might be able to leg it out, and he will, just barely able to beat the throw there from Rasco. And that's no knock on Rasco, just an awkward little hit there, Ben.
That ball had eyes in the infield. It went to their spot where it needed to go, and Mata was hustling down the line and beat it by 1 or 2 steps to get on base and continue the inning here and pass it on down to Schroeder, who flew out to right this first time up.
So credit Mata with the single. Now it is the catcher, Schroeder. He's going to take a high fastball, ball 1.
Right now the red team's playing stair-step. We got 1 in the first, 2 in the second, 3 in the third. If they keep that up, we might be here a while.
Yeah, no kidding. We've already, again, as we mentioned it when we tied the run total from yesterday's game. We've already well past it here with 10 total runs, 6 for the red squad, 4 for the blue. I got a 2-0 count on Schroeder. Looks like it's going to be 3-0. They said that one just a little bit outside.
Yep.
This red team really has been making Nor's work. Haven't been doing a whole lot of chasing this inning. Not going to help him out. Oh. And now, whoa, ball 4 getting a little close. Had to duck out of the way of that one, did Schroeder. So he's going to take the walk. Loads the bases now. So bases loaded. Looks like catcher Carlson going to go out and have a chat with his pitcher Nors. See if he can get him settled in here. See if they can get this last out of the inning. Coming up to the plate, it's going to be Cody Stone. Stone walked in his first plate appearance.
Looks like Kulgowski stepped over there on first base to run for Schroeder, who's been catching, just to kind of give him a breather and let him get his gear on or let him get a rest. Hot shot to first, knocked down. Looks like no play's going to be made.
Well, they're going to have a runner come home, and again, another red team player thrown out at the plate. This time it's Trevor Glauser, and we're talking about a guy whose fastball is, minimum in the mid-80s.
Yeah.
He guns him down at the plate. 1 run does come in, however. So that's going to stretch the lead out now to 7-4, but another man thrown out of the bases for the red team.
Another guy gunned down at home. We'll see if that comes back to matter at all, but there's 2 gunned down at home plate for Blue on that RBI single from Stone down the right field line. Nice job for Glauser knocking the ball down. Had it got by him, the bases would have been cleared.
Yeah, and a great job of being alert and recognizing that the runner was coming home.
Yeah.
Second runner. Looks like we might have a new pitcher again for the red team. I think red team might just have 9 pitchers. We'll have to see who that is. It might be Stone. Yeah, I think that is Cody Stone, is going to be taking the mound here for the red team. Sure, we got some more shout-outs.
We do. Good luck to Martin Ybarra and Ethan Rasco on the blue team from Lampasas. Both those guys walked in together today. It was good to see them. Go Marty from Mom. The 11U Amigos baseball team from Lampasas would love to give a shout-out to Ethan and Marty. Go Badgers. Here's one, Corey. We are proud of you. We love you so much. Mom, Dad, Eli, and Katie for Corey McNair. Corey will be attending Angelo State next year to major in physical therapy. Let me remind folks, if you want to give a shout out or say anything, say hello, tell us where you're watching from, you can text that in to 254-717-4290. I also want to let folks know that tomorrow, same time, 2 o'clock, will be the Victory Bowl volleyball match. Blue versus red will be at Vanguard, Prep, and Waco. And at 6 o'clock will be the first, and we hope last, EA Sports version of the football Victory Bowl. The red team's the Texans. The blue team's the Cowboys. Will be at AT&T Stadium. Coach Johnny Tusa, a longtime legendary coach in Waco, and I will be doing the play-by-play in color. And let me just tell you, it's a nail-biter, so don't turn it off till the very end. And pretty neat to see these guys, their likenesses created in this game, and to be played in that environment. The best that we could do, not being able to play baseball. I'm sorry, be able to play football. We are playing baseball.
Yes, we were able to play some baseball, of course, thanks to our great representative, Hugh Shine, who was able to help us get the go-ahead on that. Now at the plate, we've got Zane Spinn. He's going to take strike one from the new pitcher. That is Stone. It looks like Stone going to have, they're going to clear up the signs potentially here with catcher Schroeder. I believe he's still the one behind the plate. Spinn in his first plate appearance singled and was stranded on first base.
Gotta love Schroeder. He just keeps coming out there. Had a rough inning last inning. Lots of low balls. Tough for a catcher to pick up, especially who hasn't been playing back there. And here he is out there working his tail off to help his team behind the plate.
So now it's got a 1-1 count. Stone for Moody, coming from more of a 3/4 arm angle here. Actually, when he pitches from the windup, it's more over the top. So now he's having to cover first, and he's able to win the foot race versus Zane Spinn for out number one. That was some great pitcher's fielding right there, as we're going to call the 3-1 out right there. That was a fantastic job of covering that by the Moody product.
We'd spend 10, 15 minutes every practice doing that right there with all of our pitchers on the mound and getting over there to cover. Not an easy play, and great job getting over there. Nice feed from the first baseman. Caught it, stepped in the bag, made the play.
Now we're going to see a big cut right there from Mason Brandenburger. Or excuse me, that's not Mason Brandenburger. That would be Ethan Norris. Brandenburger's number 11 on the red squad. We're going to see now a breaking pitch, and that one going to go right through the wickets of Schroeder. Not a big deal, though, because there's nobody on base. Norris, in his first plate appearance, struck out swinging. So right now we've got the red team leading the blue team 7-4 after the blue team put up 4 runs last inning. In the top half of the third, the red team put 4 more runs on. Now it's 2-2 after that pitch. See, coming to the plate, we're going to see a high fly ball into center field. Center fielder ranging over for it, and it is going to be caught. I believe that's Kuligowski should be out there in center field. He was listed as a center fielder at the beginning of the game, at least.
That's him. I see that China Spring blue cap out there on the bill.
So he's able to put away out number 2 on the fly out to center. And now coming to the plate, it's going to be Ethan Rasco. Rasco walked in the first inning. His walk was sandwiched between those strikeouts. Going to take ball 1. Of course, Brandenburger in the first inning had the 4 strikeout first inning, was able to work his way out of the jam. That's been the only scoreless inning so far.
Mm-hmm. Got some crooked numbers up there on that board.
And a lot of them. If you're a fan of pitching, this may not be the game for you, but if you're a fan of hitting, you are in the right place.
We're just happy to be playing baseball, and happy you guys are joining us as well. What a treat to be able to do this and play baseball after 3 months off. Allow these young guys to have a chance to play this game. And we had a lot of them out there Sunday this past week at our drive-in banquet in Waco, and then saw a number of them coming in with their Victory Bowl shirts on today, and this is a treat.
Of course, and I'm sure a lot of our viewers right now are just happy to be seeing some sports on that's not from 20 years ago.
That's right.
Know that was something. We were watching some little wood bat league last night. As that pitch is going to be thrown into the dirt. Looks like almost took a tumble, did Stone that time. Yeah, working with some of my friends at the radio station I work at in Missouri. We were all talking about how we were just so deprived of sports, and we were watching that Wood Bat League. But I got spoiled a little bit yesterday because I had the volleyball game too, and of course this wonderful game today. And now, the 3-1 pitch is going to be high, and so Roscoe going to take his second. Roscoe going to take his second walk of the afternoon. Very patient up there. Hasn't had to put the ball in play. He's drawn 2 walks, and now coming to the plate is going to be Trevor Glosser. Glosser was one of the 4 strikeout victims in the first inning of Mason Brandenburger. See what he's able to do now. Started the game pitching for the blue team. He's now at first base, and he's going to take one. That one skipped in there to the dirt.
Glosser looks pretty comfortable in that box here. He looks like he's dialed in, and if he can get a good pitch to hit, we might see something hard coming back.
And now the 1-0 count. This one. See, I'm not sure if that was called the strike or not. No, that was called the ball. He just kind of moved his arm out there with the fist, and that's why I thought it was so odd. But that did look like it had kind of skipped in there.
Yep.
Looks like we've got another red.
Nice lead at first. He bluffed.
Oh, and looks like that bluff was enough to warrant a throw over there from Schroeder. Keeps him honest. It's now 2 balls and 1 strike on Glosser.
Got Kuligowski playing a little bit in center field.
Oh, man, that was a quick pickoff move right there, but just barely able to get back was Roscoe. Man, that was a sharp move from
Stone. He was halfway off the mound there, halfway back to the first baseline. He thought he got him. Might see another move over there for sure. But
gives him the long look, and now comes to the plate. High chopper over there to the shortstop, Torres. Torres just going to take the easy out, flip it over to second base, and that's going to be all in the 3rd inning. So the second 0 put up by the blue squad. They lead still going into the 4th inning, still by the score of 7-4. See, it looks like coming up for the Red All-Stars, it should be Lingo, Haase, and Dyduk.
Let me let people know who are watching that coming up on August 31st at Wildflower Country Club, we have the Bob McQueen and Joe Pirtle FCA Golf Classic. That golf tournament exists to support our ministry here in the heart of Texas Southwest and our staff and what they do to minister to coaches and athletes. The very next month, at the end of September, last Monday in September at Ridgewood Country Club in Waco, we'll have the Grant Taft FCA Golf Tournament. And so 2 separate tournaments named after coaches. Our ministry is based on ministering to and through the coach, and grateful for those men, Coach McQueen and Pirtle and Coach Taft, what they've meant to us here locally. Coach Taft on a national level. I've gotten to know Coach the last 12, 13 years of being here, and Coach would tell me just as he shared stories that during his coaching years, he and Tom Landry would take off an entire month of the summer and travel around and speak for FCA. Could you imagine an NFL and a college head coach taking off a month of their summer these days?
I mean, that'd be unheard of. I mean, you're looking at recruiting, you're getting ready for the season, getting your new recruits in. I mean, looking at who you're going to target in the next year. I mean, that's a very prime opportunity for a lot of those coaches, and not just 2 coaches, but I mean 2 great coaches.
Yep.
In their respective divisions.
I also want to say a big thank you to Sarah Williams, who is here serving as our trainer today. She was here yesterday as well. Sarah's got her niece with her, helping her out, and her husband's a police officer in Waco. Sure appreciate the way that they serve in and through our ministry and in our community. Thanks, Sarah, for being here and volunteering your time. And I also want to say thanks to the Waco Trib and the Temple Daily Telegram. They were out here yesterday, ran some fantastic stories about the softball game that came out today. They're out here again today covering this game and the heat, taking pictures, and they're glad to have something to cover. We're glad they're here and sharing what's happening here to all the folks that can't be here today without not having a crowd.
So with that, we've got a new pitcher on the mound. Looks like Proctor has now taken the mound for the blue team. David Proctor out of Academy. He's going to throw ball 1. That looks like it's going to be just a little bit low to Christopher Lingo. Lingo is going to be leading off, followed by Haase and Dyduk. You now see another breaking pitch, and that one's also going to be just a little bit low. Proctor all over it, just hasn't quite found the strike zone yet. So far, the Red squad has scored in every inning. 1 in the first, 2 in the second, 4 in the third. That time Proctor goes with the fastball. It's going to be low and away. 3 balls, no strikes. See if Lingo has the green light here from the coach. I'm sure he probably has the green light.
All-star game. You let him hit. If it's anywhere close, you rip it.
And that one just about the belt-high fastball finds the strike zone there. So we'll see if Proctor can try and come back and get Lingo. Going to wind up delivering. Man, throws another one. That's got to be just the top of the strike zone there, because that was more closer to belly button high, it would have to look like from our vantage point. But nonetheless, 3 balls, 2 strikes now, and Proctor winds up, delivers again. This ball's going to be popped high into the air. New right fielder Trevor Glauser, he's not able to get to it. Glauser, not one who typically plays the outfield, but he was able to at least keep it in front of him and gets the ball in quickly. Glauser played a lot of first base and did a lot of pitching for the Rogers Eagles. It's going to
goes down as a single.
Sure does. So a little bloop single for Lingo after the 3-2 count. It's going to bring up Chance Hossey. Hossey struck out in his first and only plate appearance. Also looks like Borland has checked back into the ballgame to play first. Again, much like yesterday, we've got the free substitutions in the FCA Victory Bowl. So Borland, after he had checked out, is now back in and ready to roll.
And that's hard because they don't tell us who's going where. So you got to.
No, they don't.
Alex, you're doing a good job of keeping track of that.
No, they do not do a whole lot of that. But luckily, the softball game yesterday did not have as many players. I believe there was 11 on each team, so it was a little bit easier to track the substitutions. Now we're going to have a little roller over there to second base, but
got him.
Looks like we were able to put that one away. Very nice job by the blue team and Matt Rosas.
Works like a bunt.
Yep, so this will go down as a fielder's choice, but as you said, or not a fielder's choice, it was just a 4-3. It was a choice of the fielder of who would get out, but nonetheless, runner now on second base, and it brings up Diduk. Diduk doubled in the second inning.
Had a nice double right in the right field, right center gap there, and brought in 2 RBIs.
There was a 2-run double, and he's now going to foul one straight back. Diduk again, he's going to be going to UTSA next year, coming from the very successful Grandview Zebras program. There's where he was from high school. A lot of these guys have played against each other, of course, with Clifton and Grandview and Troy. They're typically butting heads, especially if not in district, then in the playoffs, depending on the alignment. And now we're going to see a little check swing. They're going to say he did not go.
We do have 4 umpires today. Yesterday we had 2, and I know these guys were just chomping at the bit to get out and be a part of this, and good to see them all. All of these guys are volunteering their time, and sure appreciate them.
Now that fastball from Proctor going to be a little bit high. Evens the count now at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Did we read those umpires' names off earlier, Alex? Did you get that?
Oh, we sure did. So we can get that as soon as this at bat's over. That one going to be a little bit high as well. So full count now on the batter, Diduk. Or excuse me, no, that's actually Dylan. They might be hitting out of order. I think that's actually number 1, Dylan Martin. Now we're going to see a throw down to third base, and it's going to be safe. And Lingo, he's going to go ahead and come all the way home. And yeah, that's Martin that just batted right there.
That sure was, and that was a strikeout. We'll have to check that and see where Diduk was. I don't think we missed a batter.
Doesn't appear so, but nonetheless, how very interesting that happened. But now
we'll check on that, viewers, and find out what happened there.
But amidst all of that, Lingo does come around to score.
That's right.
So it's now should be 8-4.
And that was a strikeout for the second out of the inning.
That was. So now 2 outs, nobody on, and it's Lane Kemp at the plate. So we'll carry on. We'll have to just keep an eye out, see what's going on. If Diduk, if they just got out of order, just got crossed up or what. But nonetheless, 2-1 is the count now. 2-1. 8-4 is the score. That pitch going to be low. So now it's 3 balls and 1 strike. unlike with softball yesterday, the pitchers have been the ones who've been a little bit rusty. The batters have been just raring to go, chomping at the bit.
There's a strike.
So that brings the count full now. Kemp going to have to protect a little bit. We see a pitch, and that is going to ring up Kemp. He goes down looking, and that will be the end of the 4th inning. Not before another run is plated by the red team. Your score now should read 8-4. So we'll have to see. Looks like we may be having a new pitcher out for the red squad as well. Let's see. Looks like taking the mound is going to be number 9, I believe. Oh, it's Didak. Didak was warming up in the bullpen, it would appear.
Okay.
That seems to be exactly what was going on.
Just
so he went ahead and
skipped over his spot in the order, I guess, to make sure he was loose and ready.
Yeah, and so I wonder if in the next inning he will just lead off, because it's supposed to roll back over to the top of the lineup next inning.
Yeah, that would make sense.
But nonetheless, he's now on the mound.
Once again, they don't tell us. Sorry, viewers.
They don't. But one thing they don't have to tell us is it appears, if you look at the catcher,
That's
you can
right.
see on your screen right now, we've got a blue team catcher in now. That's going to be number 10 on the blue squad, which is Tanner Carlisle. So Carlisle now is going to be catching, so he will not, I guess he won't be batting this inning. Coming up now for the blue squad, it's going to be Cole Borland, Anders Sundquist, and Martin Ibarra. Carlisle's, he's still about 6 batters away, I would say.
He's up 8 this inning, so we'll see. Maybe they switch a catcher out if it gets close to him. But I know that those guys were willing to step up in a pinch here and help out with the catching. It is a warm day, and so we already had 3 innings of one catcher, Proctor it was, catching for Red, and so now we can see a little bit of Carlisle helping out.
And of course, we heard one game that there was potentially a catcher. Or we're not sure if it's Carlisle, but that one of the catchers for the blue team said they'd rather catch than hit.
Yeah.
So that's some dedication right there. We're not sure. Again, we're not sure which
no
of
name
the
was announced on that one.
yeah, which of the catchers that was, but Carlisle nonetheless will be catching. So we've got the blue catcher and the blue batter now. Borland is up at the plate.
Chance Hossey, we are proud of you. Watching from Dawson, Texas. Love you, Mom. Emily, Dad, Marley, and Shelby.
So we've got some more shout-outs, of course.
Let's see what old Cole Borland can do here, coming from the left-hand side.
Like he's going to take a big swing right there. That's one thing. He's really getting his swings in. He's not taking any strikes, which especially in a an all-star game, I respect that. Not up there looking for a walk. He's now gets challenged by another fastball. Is Didak really bringing the heat up there?
Here comes another one, I bet, right here. Now, we got a blue catcher. I wonder if he's telling Borland what's coming.
Yes, because I wonder how he, because he obviously would benefit from the blue team winning, and that's going to be strike 3. Borland doesn't like the call, but, man, just pain to the outside corner, and that's 1, 2, 3, and a strikeout for Didak. And so that will be out number 1. And so now coming to the plate and taking a ball low and away is going to be Anders Sundquist. He walked, and I believe was I think he might have come around to score in that second inning. 4 people did, and he was the first one on base. So now 1 ball, no strikes. Make it 2 balls, no strikes, as the second pitch is off the plate and away. So Sundquist, the center fielder, standing up there, and that time, just gets the hands out of the way. Don't want to take a fastball in on the hands here in an all-star game. That one definitely would not be too good. And actually, I believe we let it get away from us and got distracted. Our umpires for tonight's game, as we see another pitch. That one's going to be a strike high in the strike zone there. Our umpires for tonight's game behind the plate is going to be Jason Gish. At first base, we've got James Zapp. Second base, Frank Grossclose. And rounding out is the crew chief, Jimmy Clark, at third base. And that was a big cut right there by Sundquist again. And, man, just thrown right by another fastball from Didak. I'm not even sure if he's thrown. I'm not even sure if he's thrown a breaking pitch. That wasn't a breaking pitch right there. 3-2. That's going to be high and inside. So Sundquist is going to reach.
No need to throw anything off speed right now. If he can get it over, I think he might be able to get it by him.
Yes, because he is definitely throwing some heat, throwing some fire there from that right side. Nidek again out of Grandview. He's now going to be facing Martin Ybarra. We're going to have a little John Lester throw over there, the quick move, and then just lob it over there. Keep that runner honest over there. Sundquist.
Ybarra had a nice RBI single earlier. I think that was in the second inning where he drove the first run into the game for the blue team in that 4-run second.
So now, thought we were going to have a runner going right there, but a high swing from Ybarra. Not able to connect. Runner stays put there at first base. And looks like we've now gotten a little wild on the scoreboard here. It should be 8-4. That is what the score is. Right now the board's showing 13-4.
Yeah. Blue team watching from Meridian. We are super proud of you, kid. Love Dad, Mom, Kayla, and Ben. And big shout out to Coach Truss from Gatesville. Happy retirement, Coach. Hope that's not a whole bunch of big news to anybody watching there. Coach Truss is retiring. A shout out to my big bro, Brendan Mata, playing in the game today. We know the Matas are out, the mom and dad are out in the parking lot watching online. And so I don't know if brother and other family members are out there too. But for Corey McNair, way to go, Corey, Nan, and Papa. And I want to send a shout out to Chance Hasse from Hubbard Jaggers, watching all the way, get this, from Alaska.
All the way from Alaska. Wow.
Gammy loves you. So the internet stream's working in Alaska. We know that.
Sure is, it would appear. And looks like we've got another pitcher really quickly. It looks like Ethan Rasco going to take the mound. We've got some more substitutions, just moving some folks around. Let's see, looks like taking over at first base, is Rosas. We've got Trevor Glosser now at third. Looks like Proctor's gone out to left field. I can spot the socks on him. Looks like Sundquist is still in center. We'll have to see who is in right. Zane Spin is still at shortstop. And it looks like we've still got number 20, Carlson, behind the plate for the blue team. Let's see. And over at second base, we'll have to wait for them to turn around. I'm not sure I can see that far.
Hey, I want to say a big thank you while we're looking at that to, I don't know if we did this earlier or not, but I want to say a big thank you to UMHB for all that they do, operating the scoreboard, the grounds, getting them ready. Randy Mann, the athletic director here, and his staff. Just an outstanding job, and appreciate their hospitality, allowing us to be here. And then throughout the year, our staff here, Seth Chambliss and his team, I said this yesterday, we had a really large group of UMHB athletes attend our statewide college advance retreat, and lots of different ministry happening here with coaches and athletes that's taking place. And beautiful facility, softball behind us yesterday, baseball today. Sure appreciate UMHB and Coach Mann.
So also we got a little bit of confirmation. Looks like McNair has gone back to second base. He had a couple of innings at other positions.
Looks like we're going to see Torres up first here, so maybe they're just going to skip over Diduk in that at bat, and he'll pick it back up next time around.
Well, I'm sure that the blue team's not too mad at getting to miss him in the line. They're saying, "Oh, rats." Too busy warming up to strike us out and strike out the side last inning, because Diduk had a pretty booming double in his only plate appearance so far.
Right. Although if your last high school at bat is a double in the gap with 2 RBIs, you might want to be done right there too. Who knows?
But you might just say, you know what, I'll just end on a good one right there. But nonetheless, it's going to be 1-2-3 up for the Red All-Stars facing Ethan Rasco. Rasco not able to find the strikes, or actually no, it looks like he was able to find the strike zone. That was, again, that borderline high pitch, just a little bit over belt high to Torres. Torres so far is 1 for 1 with a single and a walk. It's now 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 ball and 1 strike now as Rasco just trying to settle in just a little bit here. This top of the 5th inning, starting his first inning of work. We're now going to see a ball fouled straight back towards us. Now it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Once again, Alex, that was an impressive bottom half of the 4th inning. Diduk came in, had 1 walk, but struck out the side, all fastballs. wasn't messing around, and just really overpowered that portion of the lineup that time. And we'll see if he comes back out for another inning. I know Red has some other pitchers they want to throw as well.
So now that pitch is going to miss outside. Looks like that was the breaking pitch, and he just caught that barehanded on the mound right there. That was kind of raw right there by Rasco. Didn't even use the glove. Catcher just threw it back at him, and he just caught it with the bare hand. Something you don't see, I don't think, too often, at least especially from that distance, is we're going to see a long fly ball out of play from Torres. So he's still got the 2 strikes on him.
Torres has reached base both times here so far today. Just like our leadoff hitter for Red yesterday,
Dunbar
had reached base all 3 times in her plate appearances. Let's see if Torres can keep that string going for Red baseball here.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Torres, he's going to take one right there. Looks like that's going to bring the count full. Sure is. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and after that one skips in. Dunbar, of course, yesterday out of Crawford was the Red MVP. Had 4 nice innings pitched, 7 strikeouts, 2 runs allowed, was also on base 3 times at the plate. Was not called out. Now we're going to have a pitch bounce in the dirt. Torres lugging it out to first base, and it looks like going to return the favor the blue team is. They had a drop third strike advance on the pass ball. They're going to give one now back as Torres strikes out. He's going to reach base, so I guess the on-base percentage is still 1,000 on that, 100%. And now up at the plate is Mason Brandenberger. Brandenberger, of course, had the big 2-run triple in the 3rd inning, also walked in the 1st. He walked in the 1st and was thrown out at home by Norris. We see now, whoa, breaking ball that time. Couldn't quite get on top of it, could Rasco?
Could not get on top of that and bring it down here. Let's see if keeps trying that or if he goes to something else here. Got to get some strikes, got to get ahead. Got a left-handed batter, so the runner at first base is going to have the advantage if he wants to get a jump here. They're up 8-4.
A little quick throw over by Rasco. Looks like he's trying to prevent Torres from getting too much of a jump. Trying to keep him honest right there. Not a big lead from Torres. Now Brandenberger going to take one low and inside. That's 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0 favorable count here by Brandenberger. And, man, if I was swinging the bat as well as he has been today, I'd probably give myself the green light. This time pitch was high. So 3 balls and no strikes. Rasco being careful with Brandenberger. Brandenberger out of Clifton. Looks like I believe he'll be playing baseball at TC next year.
Right across town.
This time Brandenberger goes ahead and takes a strike there. That one more on the outside corner. Good looking pitch there by Rasco. Sitting here in the top of the 5th inning, making some nice time despite a bunch of runs have been scored. Yesterday the game just clipped right along because we had a scoreless game for a while. That time Rasco, though, going to lose him. Brandenberger goes ahead and takes the walk. He has now reached base in all 3 of his plate appearances.
That's our 6th walk today by blue pitchers overall. And that's been one of the biggest struggles I think they've had is just continuing to throw strikes. Again, who's been able to throw to a catcher and a live batter the last 3 months? Nobody. And so being able to get that precision down and throw strikes is so important. There's a strike 1, getting ahead. Good job. We'll see if he can keep that up here. Kuglowski's up. You got to think this might be his last at-bat. He told us he had to get on the road by 4 to get back to graduation.
So looks like he's going to be taking some cuts. So far, he has popped out to second base, and he's also walked. He's quickly got an 0-2 count.
Yep.
Couple of nice hacks here. Not rocking any batting glove, and so he's going to put some dirt on the hands, see what he's able to do here with the 0-2 pitch. Rasco looking for his first out of the inning. He's got the 2 runners on, and Brandenberger and Torres. And whoa, that one goes right behind him, and that's going to be taking a base. Looks like they're going to say that got him.
Must have clipped him on the back somewhere.
Yeah, must have got the jersey,
yeah,
it would appear. And so that is going to load up the bases here.
Or maybe his arm. He's kind of looking at his elbow. He's not in pain at all, so that's good. The ball just got away.
And so now coming up with the bases loaded for the second time in this ball game is Chan Reinhardt. Reinhardt has struck out 2 times in this ball game. He's a guy that, I'm telling you, the way that he's been swinging, if he gets a hold of one,
Yep.
it's going to be looking more like 13-4 than 8-4.
That's right.
So now, Reiner this time takes the breaking pitch, it looked like. That one seemed to have a little movement on it. Takes the strike. See what Reinert is able to do. And again, out of Harker Heights. This time, they're going to say, oh, they're going to say, yep, sure did. Breaking pitch in the dirt that time. Reinert, they're going to say he went. Not sure that Reinert thinks he went. But nonetheless, he's now quickly down 0-2. We'll see if he shortens up the stroke a little bit or goes for the home run swing. This time, not going to give any sort of swing, as that one was a little chin music there from Rasco.
Got the infield in on the corners right now, so anything to them, they're probably going to come home to first, unless it's hard at the third base where he could touch third and throw it to first for a double play.
Oh, that one, little breaking pitch. I'm surprised he didn't take that. That looked like it was coming right at him. Still managed to make contact with it, though. Looks like Reiner getting a little chatty with the catcher behind the plate. And Carlson probably saying, hey, cut it out with these breaking balls. I'm trying to hit one out. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. Rasco's elected to go from the windup, and that is going to be strike 3, as that one looks like he might have been looking breaking ball that time. Got the fastball, and that is going to be a strikeout there. So second strikeout of the inning for Rasco. Only 1 out, however, as the first one was dropped. Coming to the plate now is Peavy House. He had a single and I believe scored in his most recent plate appearance. He's 1 for 2 on the afternoon.
Blue needs a double play right here to get some mojo back and get off the field and hold him right there to 8.
That pitch is going to miss inside there for Rasco.
Peavy House wants to do the exact opposite. He wants to drive something to the outfield and bring a couple runs here, if not more than 2.
So now, we're going to have a strike there.
Peavy House already with a single and an RBI, and if he can connect here, he'll really add on to that.
So now, 1 ball and 1 strike, as we're trying to help direct the scoreboard. They finally figured out, finally starting to fix the scoreboard here. Got hung up a little bit, but still 8-4. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes now on Peavy House. Rasco, again, seems to be more comfortable going out of the windup, so he's going to stay with it. This time goes to the breaking pitch, and that is going to ring him up right there. So 3rd strikeout of the inning for Peavy House. See if he's able to replicate Brandenburger's feat in the 1st inning with the old 4 strikeout inning.
Nice job by Rasco to rally here and to get 2 strikeouts with the bases loaded. Good call there, Alex. He went to the windup, and maybe that helped him to get in rhythm. And now the infield can go to any base. They can play back. It's not going to be anything surprised here. Straight up baseball.
It's like ball 1 is going to be thrown there to Brennan Mata. He'll be the one trying to prevent.
Rasco may have injured his elbow here. He was just kind of grabbing onto it a little bit after that last strikeout and has a little discomfort there on his elbow right now.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to have a quick mound visit. See, just to make sure. Going to have some people take a look at Rasco. One thing for Rasco is that is his coach going out to greet him over there. That is Coach Shane Doge. And it looks like, yeah, we're going to have Borland, I believe, is going to come. Let's see, Borland's going to go to first base. Yep, sure is. And it looks like Rosas is going to come in. They're just going to go ahead and let him warm up. That's something we haven't seen a whole lot of, actually any of in these 2 games today and yesterday. The pitcher coming out in the middle of the inning.
Yeah.
Rosas going to have a little bit of a tall task here, coming in 2 outs and the bases loaded.
With a 1-0 count. We hope Rasco's okay. Hopefully he just tweaked his elbow and nothing more than that. I know Sarah's going down to check on him, our trainer, to see what's going on there. And his coach is down there with him too, his high school coach, Coach Shane. So if we hear anything, we'll let you know. But we got 2 outs here. It's 8-4 in the what are we at the top of the 5th?
Yeah, and it looks like we're about to have a quick commercial break.
Okay.
And so with that, we'll just see you guys in a minute, and it'll be Rosas on the mound.
My name is Debbie Kimbrell. I am the administrator administrative assistant here at Anderson Chapel. I also work as part of the media ministry. It was great working with Lighthouse. Everyone was very professional, came in to do video recording and streaming for a conference that we hosted here on time. They did what they needed to do, was seamless and transparent. It was great. The feedback, everyone was impressed. So it went out, it was a conference level, so a state level event, and everyone was impressed with the product and the result. We got the DVDs too, which people purchased, and they were impressed with those. It was great overall.
And we are back here at the FCA Victory Bowl. Had a injury timeout right there. Had to get a new pitcher in, and coming in to pitch from first base is Rosas. And man, with the 1-0 count,
let's see if we can make the play here.
Very high in the air, and
nice.
Glazier, not usually a third baseman, but he's able to put the squeeze on it. And one pitch, one out there for Matt Rosas. Barely had time to introduce him right there, but he's able to induce the pop out, and that is going to get him out of the inning. Came in with the bases loaded and was able to take care of business, so your score is still 8-4.
How many positions is that as Glazier now played? I know he's pitched. He's played first base. Has he played right field?
He's played right field and third base. Really doing it all. So it's still 8-4 here. And let's see. It looks like the fireballer from Grandview is going back out on the mound for round 2 here. Diduck. Still have yet to see a breaking pitch. Let's see. Got some sponsors to thank here in this little bit of downtime we've got. Of course, got to give a thank you to Presley Design, who donates their time and resources for the Victory Bowl baseball and softball, and to the FCA as a whole. A proud partner with the FCA is Presley Design. And we've also got Lamar Advertising, who they also help highlight all of our events locally throughout the year. So they've also, both those guys, really done a nice job of getting the word out for the FCA.
Yeah, and I want to say fans can't get these now. We handed these out to all the players and coaches, everything at the banquet on Sunday. But thanks to Integ Design, who did our game programs once again, 12 years of printing these. They do an outstanding job. Chuck White and the folks at Integ there in Waco, they do a first-class job of putting that together. And we'll have a couple more things we highlight here as we go. We got bottom of the 5th. Blue team's coming up, down 4, and hoping to rally here. We got McNair to lead us off.
Where McNair, he's going to take ball 1. Again, just throwing some heat is the pitcher from Grandview. That's Diduck. Man, he can really bring it. Diduck now comes back with another fastball. This one finds the strike zone. That evens the count at 1-1. So far on the ball game, I can barely even read my notes. I believe that McNair in his last plate appearance reached on an error. Now he's going to shoot one foul.
That's correct. He reached on an error and then scored for the third run of the game, third run of that inning. Third run at the bottom of the 2nd for Blue. And let's see if he can get the offensive mojo going in here for Blue.
So now, quickly, 1 ball and 2 strikes. We're trying to get a baseball in. One's thrown in from the red dugout, and looks like we're now ready to go. 1 ball, 2 strikes now on McNair. McNair checked back in last inning to go back to second base where he started the game.
One thing that's unique in this game is the umpires are not handling any of the baseballs. The red team has their own set of a couple dozen, and the blue team has their own set, so we limit how many people touch the baseballs. And there's a single up the middle for McNair. Offense for Blue is maybe getting going a little bit. Nice little single. First time they've really put something in play on Diduck, I think.
Yeah, because Diduck in the last inning, 3 strikeouts and a walk.
Yep.
So that time McNair able to time it up. And I guess that's the thing with the fastball. No matter how hard they're throwing, if you're only throwing the fastball, I guess you don't really have to worry too much about being fooled by the breaking pitch. Not sure if I'd try and steal on Diduck, though, because, again, he's throwing some gas.
Yeah.
Carlson now is at the plate, and now that one's going to get by him. So not having to steal, McNair going to take second base for free. Carlson now at the plate. He singled and scored, I believe, in his first plate appearance. Carlson's been doing some catching in this ball game, most recently for the blue team.
Yep.
We'll see.
Now a single here will bring in a run and make it 8-5, and we'll see here what. Oh, another wild pitch.
Now a single's definitely bringing in. That one, it just kind of looked like it handcuffed blue team catcher Tanner Carlisle, who again is volunteering on the side of the red squad. So 2 balls and no strikes. Back-to-back wild pitches has McNair standing on third base. Carlisle going to put this one not quite in play. Makes contact, but is not able to keep it in play. Go foul, and so 2 balls and 1 strike is now the count on Carlson. Carlson out of Florence, Texas, drove in a run. One of the 4 runs in that second inning. Also, of course, came around to score. Got an opportunity to tag another RBI to his tally here.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, thought that might just get a little spin on it and come back in. That one almost looked like he fouled it off of himself. That was so inside that time on Carlson. Looks like it jammed him up a little bit. Going to have to shake that one off because it's 2 balls, 2 strikes now. Third base is the farthest the runner's advanced so far on Didak in his inning plus of work. See if you can hold him there. And that time, whoa, high heat coming in from Didak.
Alex, I just told us that Kuligowski is taking off the uniform and putting on the cap and gown, and he's headed back home. So, Mom and Dad, you may have gotten a text, but just letting you know he's being a good young man and getting back in time for graduation. And so if you're watching at home and keeping score, when we get back to him that next time around, we'll, of course, skip over his spot in the order as we have a walk here. Carlson's on first and third, and Mata's up. Or Rosas up, I'm sorry.
That's, Matt Rosas, and Rosas that time had to get out of the way of that one because, again, in an all-star game and stuff like that, I'm not trying to take a fastball in the back from Didak. That's just doesn't look very fun.
Yeah. So we'll see if Blue wants to put any pressure on right here on the defense. The infielders are playing to try to squeeze the middle for a double play, so there's some big holes on either side here for Rosas. If he can just put it in play with a runner at first, the first baseman's holding a wide open gap to the right side.
Rosas, again, now he took over pitching in the last inning. So we'll see if he's able to try and help what is now his cause. Going to take one inside right there for a strike. Right on the corner. Corner's been there all game. Didak's starting to dial it in now. Here in this in this bottom of the 5th inning. Still leading 8-4. Didak's been able to pitch for the lead, and he's now evened up the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes after finding the middle of the plate with that one. See what he's able to do here. Still got the runners on the corners. And
nice job putting in play. It was a handcuffed pitch, and had to swing because earlier he had one called on him as a strike right in that neighborhood.
Yep, don't want to go down looking right there, so nice job of fighting that one off by Rosas. Didak, he's going to take the mound once again. See what he's able to offer up here.
Nice job again, fighting it off. He's coming hard inside.
Sure is, and with the fastball that's that fast, it's clear that Rosas has been been it. Everything he's hit has gone over towards that red dugout there on the first base side.
And so if he throws something outside here and he swings at it, it's going to go right through that hole on the right side.
And it's going to come pretty hard as well as that one. Oh, man, it almost looked like Rosas thought he might get called out on that. It was very close to the strike zone, but no cigar there for Didak. So it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. See what Rosas is able to do. Runner's going to go ahead and take off. That's going to be strike 3, ringing him up, but there's going to be no throw. Carlson going to take second base for free. So Rosas is going to strike out. And now it's not going to be Tanner Carlisle because he is behind the plate. And it's going to be David Proctor coming to the plate.
That's right.
So Proctor, so far in the ball game, has had 2 plate appearances. He has struck out. He's also grounded out, and he's going to have strike 1 given to him right there. Strike 1 to Proctor. Proctor's been making his rounds. He's played some third base, played some outfield, has pitched for the blue team. Take a high fastball right there from Diduck. I guess we could really just say the high pitch. I think the fastball is implied at this point. I think that's just kind of, he just knows who he is. He's just out there throwing some heat.
And very effective at it, too.
There's one right there.
One right on the inside corner. Tough pitch to hit. It's hard to get around on it. You can't take it the other way. You got to be looking for it. And the minute you do, he throws it outside. So it's a tough one.
So now 1 ball, 2 strikes here on Proctor. He's going to try and shorten up, chokes up on the bat a little bit. This one does go outside, but too far outside. Evens the count at 2-2. A lot of times, especially at the high school level, the younger you get, you see more coaches trying to have their pitchers throw on the outside. But, man, with Diduck, because he's throwing so hard, it's actually more effective for him usually to throw it inside.
Here it comes again. Catcher set up inside.
Now it looks like a little bit too low, and that's going to bring the count full here with 1 out. Standing on deck is Zane Spinn. Outfield playing pretty in right now. Looks like they're playing, less for having a ball hit over their head, but more trying to throw out
there we go.
The runner coming home, and that is going to load the bases as that is ball 4. Proctor reaches base for the first time this afternoon, and here in the bottom half of the 5th inning, trouble's brewing just a little bit for Diduck because it's going to be Zane Spinn coming to the plate. He's 1 for 2 on the ball game. Singled in the first inning and grounded out. Some nice pitcher's fielding. I believe that was from Cody Stone in the 3rd on the 3-1. He's going to take strike 1 on the outside corner.
Nice big hole open on the left-hand side there for Spinn. The shortstop is squeezing towards the middle.
Spinn. He's going to take 1, and that's going to be strike 2. This time paints the low and inside corner that time, so back-to-back great locations.
Really quickly, Diduck is back and dialed in.
Diduck seems to, much like Rasco in the last inning, he's gone back to the windup here with the bases loaded.
Good call. 1-2 now. You got to think he's going to go outside, maybe work it off the edge of the plate.
This one's going to go, and it's going to be flared up the middle, and it's going to be caught, and that's going to be a double play as that time we had the runner on the bases, Carlson. It's like he didn't register. There was no infield fly rule or anything like that called because it wasn't hit particularly high, and Torres able to get the double play unassisted, and that neutralizes the threat right there. The 6U double play.
I think that was Torres. I don't think he realized Torres was in that area at all.
Yeah, because again, normally the shortstop would be pretty far from over there, but he sure was. Just went there and just beat him, just snuck behind him, caught the ball, and beat him to the bag.
Yep.
That's going to be all there for the 5th inning. Diduck able to work his way out of trouble unscathed. Loaded the bases with 1 out, but got the double play. First double play we've seen in either game. Both today and yesterday.
That's just a rally killer right there. They were for the blue team, and an outstanding job by Diduck and Torres to Diduck to keep battling, to keep throwing strikes, and to Torres to be right there, right place, right time, to be able to catch that ball and step on second, and to get his team out of the inning with nobody getting across the plate. 8-4. We got 2 innings left to play.
Looks like we've got another new pitcher in. We've got Ibarra taking the mound out of Lampasas. We'll have to see where Trevor Glauser decides to line up this time.
Looks like he's going to right. I don't think he's going to stop at second.
I don't think so either, but again, I haven't seen him play first, right, or third. So
it's the Victory Bowl, right?
Wouldn't put him by him. Yeah, okay, so it looks like Rosas is going to go back to second base. We've got Proctor back at third and Spinn back at first, along with Borland at first, and McClellan is checked back into the game to do some catching. So we've probably got some shout-outs to read.
I do. I got 2 more here. Shout-out to Kyle Torres from Troy. Mom and Dad are enjoying watching your last baseball game. Headed to Angelo State for criminal justice degree. And then looks like we got a note here from the Rojas family that they said Brandon Berger and Matthew Rojas played together in select baseball. So they're passing on that note. Those guys were teammates in select, and I imagine there's some other ball players out here that did the same thing throughout their baseball careers.
So getting a little work in, and now it looks like we're back and ready for action here in this top half of the 6th inning. Still 8-4 in favor of the Red Squad. Again, it's going to be number 21. It's going to be Martin Ibarra. He's going to Western Texas to play volleyball.
Want to again thank the folks with Lighthouse Streaming and Audio. Yesterday was just a perfect broadcast. Today we're dealing with a little bit of internet issues. They've done a great job figuring it out, and they've worked hard yesterday, today, tomorrow with volleyball, and tomorrow night with football to put this together. And so thank you, gentlemen, for all you do. You've seen a couple ads from them.
Now it looks like Ibarra, he's going to go with the over-the-head wind-up. Throws one in the dirt, stopped by McClellan. So that's going to be 1 ball and no strikes to the batter. And that batter looks to be, if I'd look at the right lineup, I might be able to tell you who it is. It's going to be Blake Schroeder.
Right. Started off catching the first, 3 innings.
And then I guess he decided that he'd taken enough of a beating for the team, and they went ahead and subbed in the more than willing Carlisle from the blue team.
That was discussed before the game, so that wasn't just a spur-of-the-moment thing.
So now it's going to be 3 balls and no strikes. Says, yeah, I mean, in this heat, it's not going to be fun to catch a full 7-inning game anyway, especially when you're not a catcher, when you're not used to catching. Yeah, and Schroeder typically plays the outfield. He's got a 3-0 count here from Ibarra, and
there he goes.
It's going to be a 4-pitch walk. Going to get to stretch the legs going out to first base.
Now he gets to run the bases, too. Now he's not catching. He can't have a courtesy runner, so he probably would rather run anyway.
Oh, than play catcher? Yeah. I know I would. Squatting down and all that in the heat, all that gear, I'll take running the bases a little bit over that, I'm afraid. At the plate now is going to be Cody Stone. Stone, so far in the ball game, looks like 1 for 1 with a walk, a single, and a run scored.
I kidded these two guys when they came in today because one of them had a Valley Mills hat on and one of them had a Bosqueville hat on, and I thought they may have written in together and just got a note saying that they both grew up playing select together, and now they're playing together on the same team. So there goes the runner.
Now we see, and they're going to call him out. Man, bang, bang play at second base. Great throw by Will McClellan. He gets congratulated right there by Stone on the nice throw. So that is going to hose the runner that was at first base, Schroeder.
That was almost as equally a good a catch and tag as well, coming in to scoop that and to slide and come around and tag. As you said, a bang, bang play.
Great play all around right there from the blue team. Count not in his favor. It's now 1-2 after Stone was able to lay off of that pitch. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Stone. Ibarra back into the windup now after erasing the runner, and that is going to be a strikeout as Ibarra just blows it right by him. Saw some life in that fastball right there.
Did.
So now coming to the plate, it should be Christopher Lingo. Have to verify. He's taking his time, and that is going to be Lingo, number 2, in the box. Lingo's done a little pitching today. He's played some second base. He's now up once again.
You know, one thing I didn't say, all time in this series, Red Baseball leads 3-1. Right now in the driver's seat to make that 4-1. And we saw yesterday the red team get a win in softball to make that all-time 2-2-1. And most runs scored in the game was in 2017 by Red with 14 runs, so that looks like that might be pretty safe. Most hits, though, 10 by Red in 2016, and Red's got 9 right now, so they have a chance maybe to tie that or best that. Most pitching strikeouts, 6, and I think as a team that's a record, and so we have clearly passed that up here today. I'll have to get some totals and see here, but I know that.
Well, Brandenburger had 4, and Didek struck out the side, and that's 7.
Right.
That's 7 right there.
Well, we got 8 for the red staff already, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for the blue staff.
So now 2 balls, 1 strike. Make it 3 balls and 1 strike now to Lingo. Lingo so far in the ball game, I believe he is 1 for 2 with 2 singles and 2 runs scored in the second and fourth innings.
I'm seeing here one of the guys who has the record for home runs, Garrett Gilchrist. I believe he signed here recently to go on to Nebraska to play. was at Navarro from junior college for a year or two out of Kearns. And so we've had some really good ball players in these games these last 5 years. And the Victory Bowl has been around for 12 years. Let's see this 3-2 pitch.
And
Ball
it is,
four.
yep, sure is. So he's going to flip the bat back over to the dugout, and Lingo is going to reach base for the 3rd time this ball game.
This is our 12th year to have the Victory Bowl. We started with football and cheer at Old Floyd Casey Stadium. 100 high schools made up those rosters, and after a few years we added volleyball, and those games are played in Waco. And then 5 years ago we added baseball and softball as Hasse steps in here and swings and misses at strike one. We knew that especially at this facility and in this area of our area, that having baseball and softball would just be a neat addition. And we know that typically these games are played on the Friday night of bowl week after a 3-day, 2-night experience of all kinds of activities and things that occur. And both games typically happen at the same time on Friday night. And the crowds are pretty full on both sides with this beautiful complex.
Now, looks like 2 balls and 1 strike. Now is Hasse going to take that one? Yeah, I mean, it's nice, though, because now you get to watch both games. You don't have to worry about going back and forth with them. So that's one hidden nice thing.
That's right.
There, of course, we'd love to have the fans here being able to support their kids, friends, family in person.
You know, one of the reasons we started these events, these games, is to have a camp-type experience for seniors who had just graduated one last time. There's strike 3.
That is going to retire the side. I was confused because I was like, wait a minute, I thought I'd only seen 1 strikeout, now 2 strikeouts, but I forgot that Schroeder was gunned down.
That's right.
By the catcher McClellan, and so that will actually retire the side there. So not a whole lot going on, just the 2 walks and then 2 strikeouts that time by Ibarra. And so after allowing runs in the first 4 innings, the blue team's pitching has settled down a little bit. They've put up zeros in the last 2 frames, but they've got to put some runs on the board here, running out of outs. Got 6 outs left. 8-4.
As I was saying, we started this Victory Bowl just with the idea of how could we try to reach and connect our 100 high schools in an event like this, and to be able to unify them and also to engage these seniors and these coaches. And so every year we get a different coaching staff, and they get a chance to have an experience of 3 days, 2 nights for baseball and softball, 4 days, 3 nights for football, volleyball, cheer. And it's just really been a neat thing. As we started this event 12 years ago, our staff was myself and Seth Chambliss, and now we're up to 14 staff and all over our areas from Fairfield to Goldthwaite, east and west, and just north of Hillsboro, in the heart of Texas north, and the Corsicana area down to Salado in the south, and Lampasas down there is a part of our area, and all points in between. So the Victory Bowl has really allowed us to engage a lot of new athletes and coaches and communities, and also empower and equip staff to go out and do the ministry of what we do through FCA. And looks like we're trying to get a blue catcher here to come out and help us. And it looks like, how about Coach Truss coming out of retirement? Is he going to keep the glove on, or is he going to flip it over to oh, he's going to hand the glove off.
It looks like he's going to hand it to Vail because, yeah, we've run into a little bit of an issue because our designated catcher for the red team, Carlisle, is about to step into the box.
That's right.
So we're going to bat just a little bit out of order here, as it's going to be Carlisle, and then we should roll back up to Ethan Norris. Norris was the one who's due up. It was supposed to be Norris, Rasco, and Glauser. But we needed somebody to go ahead and start warming up the new pitcher, and that new pitcher is Dylan Martin out of Avalon. Got the nice bright orange hat on, coming from the left side. See, and it looks like now we've got a catcher ready and waiting. He's ready for action now. That's going to be from the blue team. That's number 12, Matt Rosas. So now, still the 8-4 score. Still going to be 8-4. We'll have to just give a quick check around. Looks like we've got a new first baseman potentially for the red team. Looks like Dydick, well, of course, Dydick has moved over from pitcher now to first base. Still got Torres at second base.
Dydick threw 2 innings, had 4 strikeouts in those 2 innings, and just really, as we said, just threw a lot of fastballs and only has the 1 at-bat on the day and has 2 RBIs and a double out of it to speak for. And so hopefully he'll, I guess he's going to lead off the next inning. We'll get to see him have another AB here.
Let's see, looks like we've also got potentially a new second baseman as well, as it's going to be Kemp going over to second base. We've still got, let's see, looks like the outfield staying pretty similar, but it's going to be the man from Avalon, Dylan Martin, taking the mound. Third base is going to be, it's still Chance Haase at third.
Yeah.
The outfield looks like it has stayed the same, and now it looks like Rosas going ahead and going out and getting a last word in with Martin. It's interesting because Rosas hasn't caught for the blue team yet.
No.
You know, the blue team's rolled through 3 catchers, and none of them have been Rosas, so that's kind of funny. His first pitch swinging was Carlisle. He's popping that one high into the air, and that's going to be snagged by the outfielder in right field. I believe that's Stone still out there manning right field.
So if you're keeping score at home, Carlisle was getting his AB in, and now we're going back to Norrs.
So Carlisle, after the fly out there, it's now the 3-hole batter, Ethan Norrs. Norrs so far in the ballgame has struck out and flown out. He's going to foul one straight back there. We'll see if he can get the timing down on the lefty Martin. Still 8-4. Norrs trying to get something going here. Time he's going to take one. That's just off the plate. Little frame job attempted there by Rosas. So now we're going to have another bring him to the plate, and it's going to be hit high into the air, into the gap.
That ball's carrying.
It's carrying, and it's going to go over the head of the left fielder, so a stand-up double will be secured for Norrs.
We got a slight breeze out to left, and that high fly caught that breeze, and it just kept going.
Sure did. I think that might be Mata out there. I know that's who started the game. We can't see all the way out there.
That looks like Mata.
So now, 1 out and a runner on second base, and it's the 4-hole hitter, Ethan Rasco. Rasco has not had to take the bat off his shoulders so far this game. 2 walks. What he's been able to do at the plate. Got a little pink and the blue in the bat, getting a little waggle going, and he's ready to go. So 1 ball and no strikes. We'll see what he's able to do here. As now, that time you see again from the lefty, little tailing fastball action there. That's able to find its way back over the plate. Evens the count now at 1 ball and 1 strike. Rasco, I'm sure, would love to swing the bat here. Just did a nice job of getting patient. This time he does swing the bat. Big swing and the miss on the breaking pitch there. Good looking pitch there from Dylan Martin.
Appreciate the Rosas family paying attention. They texted in, wow, my kid Matt just went from left, second, first, catching. Go boy, says Dad, Mom, Kayla, and Ben.
He's been doing a great job. He may get the most versatile player award, and right there we're going to have a looking strikeout as that breaking pitch is going to freeze Rasco. So still a runner on second base. That's Norrs. And now coming to the plate is going to be Trevor Glauser. Now, whoa, that fastball had some late life on it there from Miller. That just felt like it just kept speeding up as it got to Glauser. Almost got by the catcher there, but nice job of gloving that by Rosas behind the plate. Again, doing some volunteer catching for the Red Squad.
That's right.
Now we're going to see Glauser a little bit behind that fastball. Shoots it over the other way. Foul.
We've had a lot of guys playing all over the field here today. Both these guys at home plate now for sure have been 2 of the ones that have been all over.
Both of them have played about 4 positions each.
Yep.
So 1 ball and 1 strike. Glauser. Glauser going to see a breaking pitch. That one doesn't quite break far enough for Miller. Or excuse me, for Martin, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Martin Going to go ahead and come with the low set to the plate.
Oh.
This time finds the knee-high strike right there. Nice, generous, low portion of the plate he's found. So 2 balls, 2 strikes now. With 2 outs on the big 22. Trevor Glazier from Rogers. And he's going to play ball at TC. That breaking pitch almost found its way back into the strike zone, but I think when it crossed the plate, I think it was still a little bit too high. Ended up looking good in the glove, though.
Tough one to lay off of with 2 strikes, but he's pitched, so he has a good handle on the strike zone today.
3 balls, 2 strikes, and now that ball's going to be popped up, and that should retire the side there, as that ball is going to be able to be gloved by Kemp, and that should retire the side. So, again, a little bit of noise was made by the blue squad, but unfortunately, nothing will come to pass as man from Avalon, Dylan Martin, has been able to work out of the jam.
Nice job by Dylan there to come in and come from the left side, throw strikes, gave up the double, but didn't rattle them, kept throwing strikes and pumping those in there. And as I was saying, talking about FCA and the Victory Bowl and why we started this, our staff has continued to grow, and really at the heart of it, we want to minister to coaches in and around our 12 counties, 100 high schools, and just a treat and a blessing to do that. All of our staff are full-time missionaries. They're self-funded from probably right now about 150 or so families, individuals, and churches throughout Central Texas. And if that is you and you're maybe considering being a part of our partnering with us and helping us to go do what we do, you can go easily to our Heart of Texas FCA website and click on the donate button and give towards that, and it'll be put towards use in the area where you're from, and to staff that are living in your area, whether that's towards camp scholarships or staff as they're ministering to coaches and athletes. That's Heart of Texas FCA.org. Same place now if you went there to watch the game, that you can do that and be a part of our ministry in your local area.
So now it looks like Ibarra he's going to come out for start his second inning of work. Looks like he's ready for action. So back behind the plate, it looks like is Will McClellan. So looks like he's rounding out the game. Top of the 7th inning. Again, if you haven't been with us, the red team has scored all their runs in the first 4 innings. All the runs for the blue team was scored in the 2nd inning. We had, of course, some big bats brought in by the red team, and also some great pitching. As again, in the 1st inning, we had the 4 strikeout inning from Brandenburger. Then we had Didek struck out the side. Both of them have had 2-run extra base hits.
Mm-hmm.
And now coming to the plate, it looks like it's going to be number 9 for the red squad, and that's Didek. He's back up again. Still got the 8-4 lead coming from the left side. Missed his last plate appearance, Didek did. He was warming up for the pitching, so he's 1 for 1 with a 2-run double. One ball and no strike, and he's now going to take another pitch. So now 2 balls, no strikes. We've got Ibarra. He goes with the breaking pitch, and that one's going to be grounded high hopper over there to the shortstop. Picked up on the run, and man,
play.
Great play right there by the shortstop. I believe that's spin. Really able to make that one happen.
Yep, nice play.
So now, coming up to the plate should be Dylan Martin. Martin just had a nice little scoreless inning on the mound last half inning, so he's now got an opportunity to pick up the bat once more. So far on the ballgame, he's struck out twice, once swinging and one looking. He's now going to take strike 1. Ibarra's settled in very nicely on the mound.
He certainly has. He's come in and been very consistent throwing strikes.
Speaking of strikes, there's another one. Is Martin going to go ahead and take a big swing at that? Looks like he was trying to add another run to the scoreboard right there with that swing. Now it's 0-2.
Tell you what, if he can get it elevated out to left center, that's going to be strike 3 really quick right there. That was a fast at-bat.
No kidding. Right before he could even think about putting it out to center, that's going to be a strikeout. So That is another strikeout for Ibarra. That's his second of the ball game. Now coming up to the plate should be Lane Kemp. Kemp, he's also going to take strike one. Ibarra just working quickly and working efficiently.
Yeah, sure is.
Heading right into the strike zone. Ibarra now comes again. It's going to be low. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. So far in the ball game, Kemp has walked and struck out. Kemp from Riesel is going to take ball 2. Played some nice second base as well in this ball game. Still 8-4 in favor of the red team. Want to just keep saying that because I know you guys can't actually see the scoreboard even on the TV. Too far away. Nonetheless, it's 3 balls, 1 strike now to Kemp. Standing on deck. It's going to be, should be Kyle Torres. Sure is over there. Lefty. So he might have an opportunity if Ibarra cannot come back and get Kemp. 2 outs, 3-1. And he's at least going to make Kemp see one more pitch as he puts it over the middle of the plate for the strike. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So 3-2 pitch now. And looks like that is going to miss. I'm not sure if I could have taken that one, Ben. That one was pretty close, but a stone-cold take there from Kemp, and he's going to reach base for the second time via the walk.
Back to the top of the order here with Torres. Reached base all 3 times with a drop third strike, a walk, and a single.
Sure has. So he's looking to keep the on-base percentage perfect here. See if he can get him another hit. See if Red can get maybe another insurance run. We saw some late life from the blue team yesterday in the softball diamond. So might need to potentially watch out for that. Are now going to go ahead and come set. Nice lead by Kemp at first base. And a hot shot over to the shortstop spin.
Nice
diving play. He gets up, throws on the hop, and it is stabbed and caught by Trevor Glauser. Man, what a web gem there. As we saw the full extension by Spin. He gets up, throws it over, and a nice job of digging that. Because that was kind of an awkward dig. It's not one where you could just kind of take right off the ground. He almost had to catch that like a ground ball. You know, almost in the chest right there, but nonetheless, he's able to get it done. Great job from Trevor Glauser at the first base. And that's going to retire the side. So going into the bottom half of the inning, blue team's going to be needing 4 runs in order to come back and tie this ball game.
Hey, that was an outstanding, to point this out here. You described that play perfectly. And Ibarra comes in there with 2 innings, just shutout innings, and with 3 strikeouts. I have him down 4 in those 2 innings, and gives his blue team a chance to stay close and do something here in this last half of the second. So good job by Ibarra to come in and be consistent.
So now, coming in, looks like we've got a new pitcher on the mound for the Red squad. So we'll have to see who that is. I can't quite tell. We haven't seen him turn around yet. Got the black hat on.
Is this Peavy House here from
it might be. Let's see. Is that 8? Yeah, that is who it is, because I just saw he gave a little bit more of the rotation in the windup. So it sure is. It's going to be Peavy House looking to close it out. Looking to close it out here.
So
we'll
see.
see.
Our 6th Red pitcher right here, so they've really shared the ball on this, and we'll see if Peavy House can shut the door.
Looks like he's going to be facing, should be Borland, Sundquist, and Ibarra. So now the ball's going to be skipped in, but a nice stop by, again, the volunteer catcher. Looks like we've got a different catcher this time. It's going to be 10. Looks like it's back to Carlisle.
Back to Carlisle again. Old reliable, Mr. Servant.
Must be thinking that he's the one who was volunteering to forego hitting and just play some catcher for the red team. That would be.
Couple more shout-outs here. So proud of my boy Chance. Can't wait to see you graduate later. Dr. Ferguson loves you and is cheering for you. Go Chance. Love the Gillums. Way to go, Chance. We are proud of you.
Now Borland. He goes up there swinging once again. He's been pretty aggressive at the plate. Struck out 2 times, however. He's got the 0-1 count. And swung at a nice pitch from Peavy House. Now that one's going to be a little bit low, so nice eye right there by Borland. Borland played for the homeschool team, Texas Wind.
Shout out to Chance Hossey, number 15 on the red team. Hubbard is so proud of you. We love you, Pam, and Heather Morris.
1 ball and 1 strike. The Hubbard squad, mainly Hossey, been getting a lot of love in this ball game.
Yeah, they have. Couldn't tell there if that was called on the pitch or the swing. Either one, it's strike 2 now to Borland here. 1 and 2 count.
Now PV House winds up and delivers again. That one's going to be way outside. Man, that it's like it kind of came back over the, going back towards the plate, crossed up the catcher a little bit right there. Nonetheless, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Borland trying to battle here.
Borland can reach base here. That'll be big for Blue to try to get this 4-run deficit.
And that is going to be in the dirt. Let's see. Okay, and that he's not gonna. Looks like it's gonna be an out.
I don't think he knew it got loose there, and until he started walking back to the dugout. As soon as you do that, the umpire calls it out.
So he will be retired. So that's 1 out, 2 outs remaining now for the Blue squad. It's gonna be Anders Sundquist coming to the plate. Anders from Kearns. Going to take ball 1 so far on the ball game. Sundquist has walked 2 times. He's got the 1-0 count, and this time, whoa, took a big swing right there. Head ended up looking over at his coach over there. I believe that's Coach Doge.
Yeah, from Land Passes.
Over there, just looked him at that one, pulled the head out just a little bit there. 1 ball and 1 strike. This time gets frozen on the breaking ball, and there is going to be a strike called once more. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Still 1 out here. Sundquist going to try and battle. And he's going to go down looking. So that's the 2nd strikeout of the inning. This time a looking strikeout.
PV House is looking strong here, coming in to slam the door with 2 quick strikeouts. Here comes Ybarra. He's got a single on the day and an RBI.
I had to say, not sure I'd be looking for a walk against PV House. I'm not sure. He's only thrown just a couple of balls. Yeah. He's really attacking the strike zone on the Blue batters. Now Ibarra, the last hope for the Blue team. That time they're going to say that pitch was in the dirt, so that was a ball. But Ibarra.
Yeah, he said he swung. Said he went around.
Sure did. Got the appeal from the first base side. Looks like Coach Vail at first base, not happy with that one. This time we see another pitch. That one looked like it skipped in to Carlisle again. Down to the last out is the Blue team. So still 1 ball, 1 strike. And we're going to see that one going to be grounded over there towards the first base side, but it's going to make its way out of play.
Go Red team. Way to go, Kyle Torres, says Austin and Dallas. Those are people, not cities.
Oh, that's Austin and Dallas. Gotcha.
Proud of Colby Diduck. Love watching you do your thing. Love Mom and Dad watching from Grandview.
Watched him put on quite the show this afternoon.
We did.
Both on the mound and at the plate. And
There's
now,
strike 3.
Man, going down looking, and that will be the game as the Blue team get closed out back-to-back-to-back strikeouts. Striking out the side. 2 looking strikeouts at that for PV House. That's going to close out the game. Before we have our wrap-up, we're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break here from some of our great sponsors, and we will see you guys in a minute to wrap this action.
My name is Debbie Kimbrell. I am the administrative assistant here at Anderson Chapel. I also work as part of the media ministry. It was great working with Lighthouse. Everyone was very professional, came in to do video recording and streaming for a conference that we hosted here on time. They did what they needed to do, was seamless and transparent. It was great. And feedback, everyone was impressed. So it went out, it was a conference level, so a state level event, and everyone was impressed with the product and the result. We got the DVDs too, which people purchased, and they were impressed with those. It was great overall.
And we are back here at Red Murph Field, University of Mary Hardin-Baylor. We've just closed out the Victory Bowl here for the baseball and softball. Of course, the red team won the softball game yesterday, and they take the victory on the baseball diamond as well today by a score of 8-4. Just a great game all around, and again, it was such a great opportunity. So glad that the FCA, of course, was able to give these seniors one last chance to take the diamond in their high school uniforms as a team, doing it, of course, all for the glory of God. It looks like we're having our meeting and where they're going to announce the MVPs of this game, and we got the little insider intel, of course.
We do, yeah, and they're going to gather here at midfield, and just as they started the game, they're going to close in prayer. And then as they're out there, Seth Chambliss is going to award our outstanding players. We have an outstanding player for the red team and an outstanding player for the blue team. For the blue team, that's going to be Martin Yabar from Lampasas. Martin was 1 for 3 with an RBI on the day at the plate. And he also pitched 2 innings, giving up no runs. He pitched that 6th and 7th inning and had 3 strikeouts. Really was a solid, stable presence for the blue team on the mound when he went out there. And then for the red team, the outstanding player is Colby Diduct from Grandview. He was also 1 for 2, had 2 RBIs, also pitched 2 innings, had 4 strikeouts, really relied on the fastball a lot, and was a really solid force for the red team out there on the mound. Both teams, again, had a number of players who did a tremendous job. We had Brandon Berger, as you mentioned there earlier, Alex, with a triple, and also had that 4 strikeout inning, and a number of other players who had hits and pitched well. Number of guys, really what stuck out to me is a number of guys who were flexible Christian athletes today. How about that?
Absolutely.
They played all over the place in multiple positions.
And for some of them, multiple teams.
That's right. That's right. We had some blue players helping behind the plate. It's one thing to go out and play outfield or something like that for a team. It's another thing to put on the catching gear and to play behind the dish. And proud of them. We've got baseball in the books, softball's in the books. Red team wins this one 8-4, and so right now the red team overall in Victory Bowl 2020 is 2-0. They're going to hand put the pressure on volleyball tomorrow at 2 to continue that, as we'll see the red and blue volleyball team play against each other at 2 o'clock from Vanguard Prep. You can come to the same link tomorrow, heartoftexasfca.org, to watch that match. The Victory Bowl cheerleaders will be with us as well and be performing between the sets as they've been practicing and working on stuff as best as they can without doing that in person. And then again tomorrow night, we'll have the football match, the EA Sports version of the football match. And we'll see here how that goes. I know I've seen the score. I'm one of the few who's seen the score. And so we'll see the results of that game, and excited to see how that goes down.
And so with that, that's just about all we've got here from UMHB this afternoon. Again, the red team victorious over the blue squad here in the FCA Victory Bowl on the baseball diamond by a score of 8-4. And for Ben Johnson, I'm Alex Crowe saying I hope we see you tomorrow when we have volleyball game, same time, same place on your computer.
He didn't say the score.